morning, everybody. Mike Missanelli Show, 97.5 The Fanatic, and we're in a midweek situation here. We still have some Eagles tidbits, but I deem this Philosophy Day on the Mike Missanelli Show. We're going to talk about some topics that are not necessarily specific topics tied into sports, but general topics, because I need everybody's opinion on such general topics. For instance, we all know the Eagles are good. I mean, I could recite stats until, as they say, the cows go home about how good they are, how good their defense is, how good during a 10-game streak Jalen Hurts has been. And we're going to do that. They're a really good team. They're the best team in the NFC. They're the team that I believe, if they don't get the Super Bowl, it would register in this town as one of the most colossal disappointments ever. They have set that kind of an expectation. And I know people don't want to hear it, but you have to embrace that. They're good. In this city, we know when teams are good. We know when teams are bad. For instance, you can't con the Philadelphia fan base about what the 76ers are, right? You can't say, well, they're going to – you can't do that because fans know better. But when fans know a team is really good, the expectations go to the highest level. So here's my philosophical question about the Eagles. When the Eagles are good, you feel better about it, but you talk less about it. When the Eagles have a snag or when they lose or when there's something wrong, we talk more about the Eagles than we do when they're good. Now, I think that might be indigenous to every city. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe people talk about their teams when they're really good at a higher level. But in Philadelphia, when they're good, we just go, they're good. And so when little things, they've been good for a while now. What did we talk most about last week? We talked about the controversy and what Brandon Graham said. We're not talking really about, like yesterday we talked, we went all overboard on how good they are, blah, 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 blah. The call volume seems to be lower when they're good. In other words, we're satisfied. We feel a goodness about us, but we kind of really don't have angles to talk about when they're good. So I want to ask people, why is that? Now, there happens to be a little bit of a controversy that sparked today. That controversy will be talked about more than if the Eagles are really good. And the controversy today, it was reported that Brandon Graham and Big Dom went to see Jalen Hurts at the bye and urged him to engage and connect more with his teammates. Brandon Graham comes out with a tweet that says, lies, LOL. Right? So there's the controversy that triggers more of a conversation than the Eagles being good. Like Jalen Hurts has completed 78% of his passes out there on Sunday. It was his fifth game over 75% this year. Hurts is now 46-19 in 65 career starts. The only quarterbacks to win more of their first 65 starts are just like a handful of guys. Like you can go all the way down and come up with all these kind of statistics on how good they are. During a 10-game winning streak, the quarterback has a 121.7 passer rating. But we are less inclined to talk about the Eagles when they're good than when they're bad. When you show up at a grocery store or golf place, whatever, where people recognize you, if things are going bad, they want to talk about everything. What's going on with the Eagles? What do you think about the Eagles? Hey, do you have these really long conversations with people when they're really good? Bill Colarulo's with us. Ray Dunn is with us. Bill, you hear what I'm saying here?
I hear you loud and clear because you're spot on. It's when the team is so good and there's nothing to analyze and there's nothing to critique, people don't engage in long conversation about the team as much as they do when there's things to critique. And I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is in the human psyche, but I don't think this just applies to sports. I think it's everything. Like if you see a nice couple that is happily married, you don't talk about them. What you're talking about is, oh, man, did you see the salacious story that came out about this celebrity couple? I mean, we tend to, as humans, focus more on negative, controversial things that we can analyze, critique, and discuss. And when the team is doing what this Eagles team is doing, you're right, there's less conversation. Although there should be a ton of conversation. They're 12-2, Super Bowl favorites.
But what is there to see? This. My point is, people are smart here. And by the way, I think in other cities it's different. That Philadelphia has what you just described, and it's indigenous to Philadelphia more than anything. So, like, we are more engaged in this city when we're miserable. We really don't know what to do when a team is good because we've had more years of misery than good. So we're used to the conversation when we're miserable, and we flow with it because we know that terrain. We get right into that, and we flow into it. The terrain of being really good is in a lot of ways strange to us. And therefore, we don't know really how to process that and really talk about it.
I think it also could be, especially when we talk about the Eagles, as good as they have been over the last 25 years. I mean, we could really go back 25 years of this being a very good football team. They've only accomplished the ultimate goal once. So I think even though they're good, people may be reluctant. We talked about this the other day when people were calling up saying, I'm planning the parade. And I was the one saying, no, don't talk about the parade yet. We're so nervous.
You.
Yes.
It even snagged you.
It did. It even snagged me because you don't want to jinx it. You don't want to get your hopes up to be let down. It is. It's an interesting dynamic. And I'm glad that we're talking about this today because I do want to hear from our fan base as far as, like, why? Why do you prefer to talk about the negative than the positive?
I think it happens here more than anywhere, and I've been to a lot of places. We are happier in a negative situation.
I don't know if we're happy.
Well, I know, but we're happier. We're more engaged in a negative situation. That doesn't mean we like being negative. We just like the conversation of being that way because we are used to it. We have more of this than any other. Like, people are happier in other cities for whatever reason it is. The fan bases are happier.
Well, it's more of a, good luck, guys, good effort. We're still here for your team.
Exactly.
That's not us.
Right. It's not us. So that tells me that sports means more to us here than in other places. So when I talk about Philosophy Day, these are all tied in. I want you to dig into the recesses of your soul to try to explain this phenomenon. A, what about this area that does make us miserable? B, what about sports that makes us want to talk more about the negative than the positive?
Well, we're saying this is a philosophy day, but in a lot of ways, I think when things are negative, we serve as a therapist. It's like a therapy session.
Right.
People can call, they can vent their frustrations, they can vent all the things that they think are wrong with the teams. When things are good, they don't feel the urge. There's no therapy needed. They're just happy and celebrate.
You're right. And this is the thing. We can't be conned either. We can't have somebody say we're a good team when we don't believe we're a good team. Like, we know this is a good team. Like, we know that the Phillies were a good team. Now, it didn't work out for the Phillies, but all summer long we go, that's a good team. Right?
Well, up until about the All-Star break.
Right. You can't really con Philadelphia fans. We know when a team is good and when a team is weak. So when people try to sell us a bill of goods on how good their team is, we're not buying it until we see it. And once we see it, like this Eagle team, there's nobody out there right now that can look at this team and go, well, let's see. I mean, they're in this area. We've been completely disarmed from that whole criticism piece. Normally, we can find a flaw in anything.
Which we did last week. We were looking for the passing offense.
Exactly. We can't find a flaw in this team. So when we can't find a flaw, we kind of exist peacefully, but we really aren't engaged in talking about it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know what? And you're kind of spot on just for my own example. I went to the barbershop yesterday.
Uh-huh.
A few weeks ago when I was there, especially maybe going back 2 appointments ago, when there was a lot of drama, 2-2, decision Sirianni was making.
Yeah.
That's all they wanted to talk about. Not only my barber, everybody in the barbershop wants to talk to me about it. Yesterday, Not so much. Eagles are good, huh? Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
All right, next topic. That's it. That's it.
We're like stunned bees. We're like bees that have been steamed.
Steamed bees.
Bees are steamed. They're not angry. They're just happy. They're floating around. That's what we are. All right. Today is General Knowledge Wednesday, of course. It is Ray versus the audience, and we've got a prize. And I'm going to tie this in for more sports philosophy later when it comes to the Flyers and the Sixers. But today, the General Knowledge Prize is a Flyers Santa sack. Well, this is pretty good. Even for the people that aren't really engaged in hockey, it's a really good thing to do, go to a Flyers game. And I think you'll be turned on. For you hockey fans, how about this? Flyers Santa Sack includes a pair of Flyer tickets, an autographed item, food and beverage voucher, Philadelphia Wings lacrosse tickets. We throw it all in there. It's everything you need for the game in one gift, and it's only at PhiladelphiaFlyers.com. But the winners have to pick it up here. So if you beat Ray today, and I'm predicting that you will, because there are no sports topics today for Ray.
Oh, Ray's screwed. He's done.
He might be screwed.
He's done. This is a great gift, though. This may be our best prize we've had yet.
Fantastic gift. All you have to do is get a general knowledge question correctly. You'll qualify for it at the end of the show. Here's how you get in. 610-632-0975, 610-632-0975. By text or by phone. Sirianni press conference today. We'll hear from the coach of the year. General Knowledge Wednesday, Mike Missanelli Show, Philosophy Day, right here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Can you feel it?
The Eagles are back to being Super Bowl contenders.
This team's got a real shot.
So many reasons to believe.
Right now, Eagle fans, you got to be feeling really comfortable.
This team, they could beat anybody.
Everyone's getting Birds fever.
Quinyon Mitchell is about as steady as they come.
DeJean did what?
Saquon Barkley is playing out of his mind.
I'm fired up. From the trenches all the way out to the playmaker.
Get a jump on the postseason throughout December.
Pack your bags.
Get ready for New Orleans.
Yeah, get New Orleans right now.
Philadelphia's source for breaking sports news. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
We're going to talk about today. I can't wait to get into it. Philosophy Day. I'm going to bring back Mr. Hypothetical today. On Philosophy Day with a situation with Mr. Hypothetical. The 10 o'clock hour is brought to you by Window Nation. Take advantage of Window Nation's 50% off sale on all style windows. Plus, make no down payments with no payments and no interest for 12 full months. Just call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com. All right, General Knowledge Wednesday, we've already told you about General Knowledge Wednesday, but let me just try to put this in better perspective. When you sit down, I don't know, whether it's a restaurant or it's at home, and you sit down and you consume a great meal, right? After that great meal, you are satisfied and content. But after that great meal, what do you feel like doing, really?
Nothing. That's kind of how, just sit on the couch and veg.
There you go. And that's what the Eagles are right now. They're a great meal. We have consumed them. We are content with the situation, and we're just in an easy chair, and maybe we can just snore a little bit.
Well, the other issue that we have right now with the Eagles is with 3 games left to play, some of these games may not matter depending on how things go with the Lions and the Vikings either. So you're in this kind of limbo right now. You want the playoffs to start, but you don't really know how these next 3 games are going to go. You're worried about injuries. So
nobody's worried. Nobody's worried about injuries right now. I mean, how could you sound the alarm all of a sudden? There's no worry. That's my point. There's no worry.
Well, you're just not worried, maybe is the wrong word. You just want the season to get over with so that you could get to the playoffs because there's not much left. There's not much left. It's crazy. If we would have looked at the schedule to start the season and think, man, the last 3 games of the year, 3 NFC East opponents, the Commanders, the Cowboys, the Giants.
What's
don't really
the
mean
last
much.
time we've looked at like the upcoming games and go, I don't win that game. I don't win that game. I don't win that. Like, when's the last time we've been able to do that?
It's been a while, and that especially against your division.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Look, we're sitting in a Barco lounger getting ready to snore after being satisfied with we ate a big pork roast.
I wouldn't do a pork roast.
With mashed potatoes and whatever. Cornbread. We're carb overloaded.
I still think, though, I mean, the fans are excited. They're excited.
I'm not saying they're not excited.
Yeah, there's just not much to discuss.
Exactly. We are happier when we have things to discuss in a weird way in this town. We are happier when we have, like, this Jay Glazer report. I don't know how many people are going to bring it up today. I don't really care. It doesn't. Like, what does it mean to me? It doesn't mean anything. If it was necessary to do that and they became a better team, good. There's really no hook to that, is there?
No, there's really not. And people don't want that right now. People don't want negativity or any discussion about the team not connecting before the bye. I mean, that's weeks ago. But, I mean, things are very good when the talking points on most shows is this the best team the Eagles have ever had?
Exactly.
Like, that's the talking point this week. Is this the best defense they've ever had? Is this the best team they've ever had?
I think all these headlines and all these stories, they're the best defense in the NFL, and it's not even close. And then the pass defense has allowed an average of 147.9 net passing yards during a 10-game winning streak. That's the fewest passing yards they've allowed in any 10-game span. Like, we cut these statistics like every which way to come up with these brilliant statistics about this team. And we just sit here and we're contented. And normally, if Sirianni made a bad call in a game, that would be the topic we would talk about. He's turned into, like, the greatest stoic coach ever, right? We don't even have that angle anymore.
Because even with that conversation about, is this the best team ever? Like, I go back and I think about some of those years. There were still talking points. Like, 2022 with the Eagles was, well, have they really beaten anybody? Are they going to be able to do this in the playoffs? And then 2017, it was all the injuries. We were talking about what was going to happen with Carson Wentz when Nick Foles came in. 2004, are they finally going to be able to get over the hump of the NFC Championship game after 3 straight losses and all that? And then T.O. gets hurt down the stretch. Right now, thank God, knock on wood, you're right. There's really no angle. There's no critiques to have of this team, both sides of the football, even special teams now. It's a good problem to have as a fan base, but there's not much to discuss when it comes to sports talk radio.
Now, LaShawn McCoy has called this the best Eagles team he's ever seen. Now, I don't know if he was an Eagle fan growing up in Harrisburg. Was he following the Eagles back then?
Well, he was
Bishop McDevitt High School.
He was
in Harrisburg.
I mean, he was a high school superstar, so he's probably more into him.
Well, he was always into him. I don't know if he was following the Eagles from every
But
day.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think McCoy may have been at Lehigh a couple times, wasn't he? Didn't he go even as a high school student? I think he may have been at Lehigh as a high school student. They had their eyes on him, like they knew who he was.
Really?
But I don't know if that means he was a fan. I don't know if he was just visiting them. But I thought I remember a story back then.
All right. Well, but are they the best Eagles team we've ever seen? I mean, they might be. I don't know. They look pretty complete. When I think of all the great Eagle teams, you could always look at a part that they weren't strong in. You look at this team, you go, nah, they're pretty strong in like every area. You know, like their offensive line is tremendous. Their defensive line has been really good. Their back, the guys in the back are better than they've been in a really long time. The quarterback's not making mistakes. I mean, I guess you could make the case that they're the best Eagles team of all time. But then there are people that go, well, no. That Reggie White defensive team, that was the best team. And you go, yeah, but offensively they weren't really that good. So, they had one player on offense.
In my memory, when people say best team ever, I immediately go back to 2004. And I pulled up the roster because I was just going off memory. Oh, man, I felt like that team was great. And you look at this 2004 team, I mean, just look offensively. You had McNabb and Westbrook. Well, I don't know. Hurts and Barkley or McNabb and Westbrook? I think I'm probably leaning Hurts and Westbrook.
Who were the receivers 2000?
Well, that's where I'm going. You have T.O., but then it's Todd Pinkston, Freddie Mitchell. You're going with A.J. and Devontae over that.
Yeah.
Tight ends, Chad Lewis and what was his name? What was the guy's name? L.J. Smith. Thank you, Ray. L.J. Smith.
Rutgers.
From Rutgers. I'm taking Dallas Goedert and even Grant Calcaterra over those two.
I don't know about that.
Chad Lewis and L.J. Smith were not.
They were productive.
You know how many that year in 2004, Chad Lewis's stats, 29 catches, 267 yards. He only played in 9 games. I think he had an injury that year.
What did LJ do?
Tell you right now. Hold on. I got to find these numbers. So 2004 Eagles statistics. Their leading receivers. Let's give you these numbers. L.J. Smith had 34 catches for 377.
All right.
Todd Pinkston as the second receiver.
Yeah, you're right.
676. It's a better offense.
Yeah.
And even the offensive line, I think, is better now.
All right, we're going to talk to the people who want to talk about the philosophical issue here. And again, it's General Knowledge Wednesday. Get a question correctly. You will qualify for a Santa sack. No, not Santa sack, a Santa sack.
I love it. That's a good gift.
Bill didn't even. Whatever.
No, I know what you said. I ignored
Bill
it.
said, right over Bill's head.
Never listened.
He goes into this daze. All right, 6-1.
Well, I was reading.
He was occupied with something else.
Somebody on YouTube said L.J. Smith now owns a steam cleaning company that did his carpets.
There you go. He was otherwise, Bill was otherwise occupied. It's the Mike Missanelli Show. Back after this.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Passing the test. I'm Ray Dunn. This update is brought to you by Macy's Backstage. Macy's Backstage has amazing deals on the holidays' most fun gifts. Get low prices every day on unique finds in-store only at Macy's Backstage. Find location near you at macy'sbackstage.com. Off price, on trend, arriving daily. The Eagles threw their way to victory on Sunday, beating the Steelers on the strength of Jalen Hurts' arm, especially early in the game. Hurts did a tremendous job of getting the ball out quick, and on Tuesday, offensive coordinator Kellen Moore talked about his quarterback's performance.
Jalen did an excellent job of working through his progressions, getting the ball out of his hands. Protection was excellent. I thought our guys did a really good job early in that game, finding that rhythm and playing at a high level.
Looking to keep that rhythm going as they had to land over Maryland on Sunday to play the Washington Commanders. If the Eagles can win their 11th straight game on Sunday, they'll lock up the NFC East, which would be their 11th division title since 2000. Elsewhere, Flyers go on the road tonight against the Detroit Red Wings at 7 o'clock. You can listen to the game tonight right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. And tonight the NBA is off following last night's NBA Cup Finals. Doc Rivers, the Milwaukee Bucks, won the second ever in-season tournament. I'm Ray Dunn in the home of the 76ers and the Flyers. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Can you feel it?
The Fanatic. It is General Express. Hey, let me give you the topics. Bill and I are just saying that Ray may get shut out today. Possibly get shut out. No sports topic to buoy him. The topics are U.S. general knowledge. You know a lot about your country, Ray?
I think we're going to find out.
Song title antonyms. Now, an antonym, of course, is a word opposite than what we're looking for. So would you like an example of that?
Yeah, I don't understand it.
Okay, so this is a song title. You know, the antonym, if I say, yes, man, yes, laugh, what song am I looking for? Just put the words in replacement.
No girl, not funny?
Yes, man. All right, so that would be, let's start. No would be the first word, right? Yes, man. No what?
No woman, no cry.
Yeah!
I got it.
Jesus. Was it that difficult?
No, now I got it.
Okay, you got it.
Ray's going to struggle, though.
And then the Mafia quiz, Ray. You messing with my people. You'll get some of these.
Oh, no shot.
Yes, you will. These are like general questions, general Mafia questions. Like they won't be like really specific. Where I'm going to go, who was the mob boss in Kansas City in 1942? You know, that's not going to be. That's not the way to go. It was the guy in Casino, right? The guy Casino.
Yes, right. They were from Kansas City.
Yes.
Yes.
Kansas City has apparently a big mob presence, which I found hard to believe. Artie Toscano was his name in Casino.
It's a good memory. You have a good memory when it comes to movie characters.
The guy who had the hoarse voice. Ellie, I keep going out to Las Vegas. I get nothing back. Hey, what are you going to do? What are you going to do, Artie? Keep records? All right. There we go. Let's get to the phones. I want to start this whole process. Philosophy Day. And let's start with OC in North Philly. OC!
What's up?
What's going on, OC?
Not much. Just driving up to Lehigh Valley, man, for work and everything like that. But I wanted to speak on the topic at hand. Mm-hmm. The reason we don't talk a lot when we so successful is because we don't want to be too overconfident. Also, remember when Vince Young had said the dream team?
Yeah.
Like, I just feel like that was a curse. And so many other cities is cursed. Like, I love how Dallas is cursed. Ever since Tony Romo fumbled that field goal snap and stuff, that was lit. So I don't want to be cursed. I want to stay away from the evil eye and all that type of stuff. So I don't want to be overconfident. I also talk a lot on Facebook about our guys and stuff like that. So anytime something bad happens to us, they always coming back to us. So I don't want to really put my foot in my mouth. So my topic, my talking points now is like, how do you beat us? Yeah, I mean, so that's how I keep my. I still talk about my boys and stuff like that, my birds, but I don't. I just talk about them in a different sense. Like, all right, yeah, I mean, how do you stop off of the line?
No, I think you have the right perspective.
Okay.
Let me get this straight, because this is the thing that makes me crazy. You don't want to get overconfident. This is a typical Philadelphia trait, because you always think the sky is falling. And I've wanted to change that kind of philosophy for a lot of years, because that stops you from appreciating something good, right?
Yes.
All right, but so you're saying you don't want to be overconfident, and yet you go, how do you stop us? So you have a conflict here.
Yeah. I play both sides. Like, I won't put in, one foot out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Well, hey, but put 1.5 feet in at least for me here.
Yes. It's so scary though. Like I remember when we and I'm glad we got Brandon Graham. I was so upset when Brandon Graham was on the board and we took him, when it was other players and stuff like that. Like, oh my God. So I felt like I was too invested into the boys and to my Eagles and stuff like that. It hurt my feelings.
Uh-huh.
I was like, you know what? They're millionaires and all that type of stuff like that. They don't care about the fans' choice and stuff like that. So I know brothers that bet on the game and they lose their freaking they was nurses too, so they was getting money, lose their paychecks, so they couldn't really enjoy the game. I said, let me take a little step back.
All right. Well, I think you got the right look at it, OC. Now, it's general knowledge. You're first question up for general knowledge against Ray, right?
Okay.
And this is U.S. general knowledge.
Yes, sir.
So the question, I think, should be a really easy one to start out. Who
And
gave?
it's the opposite, right?
No. This is just a U.S. general knowledge question.
Okay, all right.
All right. Who gave the Gettysburg Address?
Ah, man, I got to ask my daughter. She's in 8th grade right now.
Hold on a second. Let me take you to a sports movie.
Okay.
All right. Remember the Titans. Did you see that?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Remember?
Denzel gave a pep talk to after they ran through the woods and whatever, and
Yes, I
he
remember
gave.
that.
All right, you remember that? All
Yeah.
right. Well, who gave the Gettysburg Address?
Oh, man, I was so hung up on his words, I don't recall, man.
Oh, come on, OC.
Oh man, OC. Oh, that's terrible. That's a terrible start, man.
That is a terrible start. Ray, you know this one, right?
Yes.
Abraham Lincoln gave the Gettysburg Address. Come
All you
on
have to
now.
learn that at Gettysburg? You guys have to recite that word for word out
Well,
there?
there's a plaque where he delivered it, so I would walk past it quite often.
I was waiting for OC to say Gettysburg. Bill Colarulo gave the Gettysburg.
I did.
He did give
Fired up the fellas before
he
senior
did.
day.
It was Bill's Gettysburg Address.
Would fire up the
All right,
fraternity.
men. All right, men. We got to beat these guys. We got to be tougher. Like,
What am I, Dan Campbell now?
Yeah.
That was my
That was your
speeches?
Gettysburg Address. All right, Ray. He fumbled a really easy question. So here's your question. U.S. general knowledge now. Who was known as the king of the wild frontier?
Ooh.
Da-da-da. King of the wild frontier. I just gave you the song.
Oh, yes, that song that I know. Now I've got it.
I'm up for you. Da, 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 da. King of the wild frontier.
Did he wear a raccoon hat?
Yes, he did.
Teddy Roosevelt.
No, it's
I have
Davy
no idea.
Crockett.
Davy Crockett.
I have no
Come
idea.
on, Ray.
I have no idea.
Although Teddy
Never heard
Roosevelt is a nice guess because wasn't Teddy Roosevelt, what was his nickname? Didn't he, well, wasn't he a part of, what was the group he was a part of?
The Rough Riders.
The Rough Riders. There it is. So that's a.
The Rough Riders had to do with King of the Wild Frontier.
Rough
song is
Rider
that?
theme.
Davy,
No, not the Rough Rider team.
Okay, hold on a second.
Davy Crockett.
Hold on 1 second. Davy Crockett
Uh-huh.
carved into a tree, I killed a bar. He misspelled bear. Does you know this about Davy Crockett? The legend of Davy Crockett?
No, I have Davy Crockett.
Davy never heard of Davy Crockett?
Davy
Really?
Crockett's not ringing any sort of bell for me.
All right.
Did he carve into a tree?
He did, but I didn't know he spelled it wrong.
He spelled it wrong. I killed a bar, B-A-R, in these here woods or something.
We may have to scrap this topic because as good as we're feeling about the Eagles, I'm feeling terrible
Time out.
about our.
We can't
about people in
compare.
our
We
country
can't
right now.
compare someone not getting Abe Lincoln to me not getting Davy Crockett.
I mean, these were two. Come on now, these were two easy
You
ones.
never
right?
heard the song. Davy Crockett, King of the Wild Frontier.
I am sure your rendition is absolutely perfect of it.
Oh, this
But
is going to
no.
be bad. I'm going to keep a tally of how many U.S. questions are answered correctly. We're 0 for 2 right now.
Yeah, well. Did you have that one, Bill?
I had Davy Crockett.
You did have Davy Crockett?
Well, that's why I said raccoon hat.
Okay. Yeah, you got it. All right. Frank in Mount Airy. Frank, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Frank,
Hey, Mike.
what's up?
This is Dean from Mount Airy.
Oh, Dean. Go ahead, Dean.
Hey, it's a good feeling when you're beating teams, especially when the Cowboys. Because it's a guy talking about we got 5 rings. I said, how much rust removal do you have for those rings? Because they haven't beat anybody in 34 years.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No, I get you. But listen, when you think of this team, you are totally satisfied, like after a big meal, right? You look at
Yeah.
him, you go, oh, man, I'm totally satisfied. Wait, there's nothing even I can pick on.
Well, but the thing about it is you got to still keep a balance because it's like, it's not people, media people, but it's like a lot of fans talking about, well, we haven't made it past the second round, or we can't get past the second round.
Yeah, but
And
here's
it's
the
like-
thing. I'm going to go past that.
Uh-huh.
We would only have a doubt if we thought the team was lacking in a certain area.
They're
But
not.
when you think of this team right now, they don't lack in any area. So it's like it's a different feel. I'm being serious about this. It's a different feel than to think, well, we haven't gone back to the second round. You know this team is good. Now, if they happen to lose in the playoffs, to me that would be a fluke, and then we would act accordingly. But like we can't we can't attach that insecure feeling to this team.
Exactly. I agree with that.
Okay.
We can't put it in. See, the thing about it is that we got players that are younger and in their prime. You know what I mean? We got I like Jalen Carter. We got two good cornerbacks, and we got a balanced team.
You're absolutely right. It's a great balance. It's a great balance of youth and veterans and strength and really, I'm telling you, this team you can't attach doubts to this team.
Exactly.
All right, now, and that's all I'm saying. Like if they lose, listen, they lose. That's a circumstance.
Look, they got Devontae and AJ Brown and Devontae Smith.
Yeah.
And then you got Dallas Garrett.
Yeah. All right, Dean. Listen, I'm going to give you a general knowledge question.
Yes.
This is a song title antonyms. You know, an antonym is the opposite, right?
Oh, it's probably going.
So if I say to you the antonym is good girls, what's the song title? It's just the opposite of what I just said.
Right.
If I say good girls, what's the opposite? It's a song.
About bad boys.
There you go.
That's an easy one.
Bad boys. All right. So there you go. He's on hold. That was an easy one. So here goes Ray now. Do start doubting. Ray, what song am I
Don't
looking
stop
for?
believing.
There you go.
Who sings it, Ray?
Journey.
There you
Nice.
go. There we go. See, we're tied.
I won one.
It's not as difficult.
The antonym one should be relatively
They
easy.
should be really easy. All you do is attach the opposite word to it, even if you don't know the song title.
We do have to give Ray a slight pass today, though. He's very depressed today.
What's wrong with Ray today? What's the problem?
My favorite coffee shop.
His
Bagel
coffee
shop.
shop's
Oh,
is
yeah,
leaving.
no, hold on a second.
Yeah.
That's my boy there. That's Matt Pagano's place. That's my buddy. He's the guy that sent over some coffee to us.
Delicious
a few
coffee.
days ago from their Center City location, which is on that place where all the yuppies hang out. With
Sips?
that office
Yeah.
building there. It was 20th and
20th and Market. Don't worry.
20th and
Been there
Market.
before.
Yeah. And so they have a place downstairs here. They're closing.
That's what Ray was told this morning. He came up like someone had passed away. He was so upset.
Well, because Ray's got clout down there.
Well, maybe if he wasn't getting his coffee for free, they would have stayed there.
Yeah. That
Okay,
place, Ray
so-
cost that place thousands.
Oh, yeah, every day.
You're right. Ray put that place into bankruptcy.
See, I never wanted to talk about this on the air, but now that the place is closing,
Ray
we might
goes
as well
down
call
there.
it
Let me
out.
just tell the people here. Ray's a charming ginger. Charming young ginger. Tall, thin. Goes in there. And one of the ladies behind the counter has had a little thing.
What are we doing here? What are we trying to air
fear
out
in
here?
Ray's eyes.
You guys are trying to air something out here that's not there.
I'm just saying that you got a free bagel.
We got people on the phone lines.
Yeah,
The
no,
Eagles
that's
are
okay.
12-2,
No,
and
that's
we're
okay.
trying to air out
No,
business here. That's not
okay.
even
Okay,
correct
Ray.
business to air out.
Okay, Ray, you don't have to pay. And here comes the free coffee and the bagel.
Yeah, and
Costing the company thousands.
so now they're leaving. They wanted to figure out, why aren't we making money at the One Ballot location?
And again, now you're totally misrepresenting the reason they're not there. So now you're actually doing something wrong. I have no voice
Ray
today.
gets
You have me
upset.
yelling at you in the 10 o'clock
Look,
hour.
he's so angry.
Ray gets upset. Right. Listen, you gotta embrace the fact that somebody feels so good about you that they'll give you a free coffee.
Neil on YouTube, best line of the day. Ray has pretty privilege. Just like Jalen Hurts.
He is pretty privileged.
That's what it is.
He's pretty privileged at the coffee shop.
Me, I got to pay full freight every time I go down there. Ray, he just hits him with the smile. Go on there, son.
Go on there, son. Oh my, Ray, we're only being Ray. We're seeing we're breaking balls. All of a sudden, you get freaking fresh.
I'm funny how? I mean, funny like
There it
clown,
is.
I amuse you.
That was good, Ray. He knew the movie.
There you go.
He's learning.
It's Rob in San Antonio. Rob, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Rob.
What's going on, brother?
What's up, Rob?
Not much. Hey, listen, I heard you quoting some old school movies, Casino. Well, I got one for the Redskins. I'm sorry, the Commanders. Hey, I got your freaking head in the vice. I wanted to get that out there.
Well, yeah, but who was the guy? Who was the guy whose head was in the vice?
Oh, well, I forget the guy's name.
Well, I can forget the guy's name. He called me. He goes, "Hey, listen, dogs. I got your freaking head in the vice." Tony Dogs.
Tony Dogs. There we go. Yeah,
right.
yeah.
There you go.
Yo, so real quick, shout out to them birds. They're balling out. I wanted to say real quick, though, Mike. Yo, I agree with you for the most part. I'm always, listening, love the channel. But I wanted to say real quick, the last 3 games, I respectfully have to disagree. We have to be laser focused until we have the ability to be able to clinch that 1 seed, because right now there's zero margin for error. We want this thing to come through Philadelphia so that, we can go ahead and punch our ticket to the bowl.
All right, so where there was one game where they weren't laser focused. That was against Carolina. You do understand how that could happen, right? They won the game. They may not have been laser focused. That was a bad team they were playing. They knew they would win that game, and so. But the 2 games against the main opponents, the Ravens and the Steelers, what did they do to them?
Oh, they obliterated them. But
All right, were they laser focused?
Well, they weren't laser focused against Tampa either. They were injured. But
Well, that's a long time ago. That was a long time ago, brother.
I got you.
That was before Big Dom and who was it? Brandon Graham. Well, it was more important than Big Dom. No, it was Brandon Graham and Big Dom go to Jalen Hurts and go, you got to connect more with the team during the bye week.
Yeah, I got you, brother.
All right, man. All right, you got it.
Before I let you go, man, I just wanted to say that I think the thing will go through Philadelphia, and I think we're going to win this week and close out the NFC East.
All right, buddy, you got it. The NFC East is not even a consideration. It goes without saying.
Yeah, they would have to lose all 3.
Yeah, we're
Washington
talking about the conference, which is either the 1 or 2 seed. But again, even if this fluky thing happens that the Minnesota Vikings get that spot, which would be ridiculous. You're telling me you would be afraid of an NFC title game up there against that team with this team right down here?
No, not anymore. And we were concerned a few weeks ago going through Detroit potentially, but with their injuries, not anymore. But to that caller's point, yeah, the Eagles could stay laser focused. They could win the next 3. It still doesn't guarantee them the 1 seed. You need help. You need the Vikings or the Lions. Actually, you need both of them to lose 1 game.
Charlie M., you make me pop out your eyeball for a scumbag like Charlie M.? Mike Missanelli Show continues. 97.5 Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Passing the test. I'm Ray Dunn. This update is brought to you by Groundworks, your expert for basement waterproofing and foundation repair since 1997. Book your free inspection at groundworks.com. The Eagles threw their way to victory on Sunday, beating the Steelers on the strength of Jalen Hurts' arm, especially early in the game. Hurts did a tremendous job getting the ball out quick, and on Tuesday, offensive coordinator Kellen Moore talked about his quarterback's performance.
Jalen did an excellent job of working through his progressions, getting the ball out of his hands. Protection was excellent. I thought our guys did a really good job early in that game, finding that rhythm and playing at a high level.
Looking to keep that rhythm going to Landover, Maryland on Sunday when the Eagles play the Washington Commanders at 1 o'clock. If the Eagles could win their 11th straight game on Sunday, they'll lock up the NFC East, which would be their 11th division title since 2000. Elsewhere, the Flyers go on the road tonight against the Detroit Red Wings at 7 o'clock. You can listen to the game right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. And tonight, the NBA is off following last night's NBA Cup Finals. The big news, Doc Rivers and the Milwaukee Bucks winning that second ever in-season tournament. This update's also brought to you by Mattress Firm. Score deep discounts and deeper sleep during Mattress Firm's semi-annual sale and clearance. Get up to 60% off select mattresses and more. Plus, get a free adjustable base on qualifying purchases. I'm Ray Dunn on the home of the 76ers and the Flyers. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Law. Your law firm when you need help because of an injury. Pray for peace. Prepare for trial at grungolaw.com. So we take the whale out of this. We take the whale out of that song.
What's
The Even Flow by Pearl Jam. He usually comes in.
The whale, you mean like the scream?
Yeah, well, he comes in with the first note where he... Feeling... right. So we edit that out. See, this is a radio thing. You edit out the words and you just go with the music. Right, Bray? Is that the way it works?
A lot of times, yeah.
There
are some of the songs that we leave.
Yeah, some of the songs we have lyrics.
I gave a little gap for him, for Eddie Vedder to come in with that, with the line. But it didn't. I didn't hear it.
But then like the Backstreet Boys, he has the lyrics. I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird. So, some you eliminate the lyric and some you don't. But in any event, Grunger Law, pray for peace, prepare for trial, grungerlaw.com. I'm going to add another layer to Philosophy Day. We already discussed in the first hour. The Eagles are good. You feel better about it, but you talk less about it. We are more engaged when we are miserable. We know this team is really good. We don't have anything more to say about it than this team is pretty good. Hence, the topic last week that got most of the interest was the topic where Brandon Graham said that AJ and Jalen's relationship isn't the same, right? They were as good last week as they are this week. So it's more interesting now, well, maybe not, that Big Dom and Brandon Graham went to see Jalen Hurts at his house at the bye week to say you got to engage more with your teammates, and then Jalen made a point to engage more with his teammates.
Yeah, and the report comes out from Jay Glazer, and he says it in a way where he's talking highly of Jalen Hurts. I guess it's a good thing that right. Jalen Hurts did. And I think if this would have come out when it happened, maybe people would have reacted a little bit more negatively. Mm-hmm. But right now, you're on a 10-game winning streak. The team's 12-2, so I don't want to be negative. But my initial reaction when I heard that was that it didn't look good on Jalen Hurts. That if a franchise quarterback needs to be reminded 5 weeks into a season, you got to connect with your team.
Right. My point is it's a small issue, but we would rather talk about those small issues rather than they're good because we don't have anything more to add to they're good.
But right now, even that small issue, I don't think fans want to talk about.
But my point is that we are more engaged when there's something that makes us miserable. And that's indigenous, I think, to Philadelphia fans. So let me add another layer to this, which doesn't have to do specifically with the Sixers, but it has to do with two sports in general. The NBA, a lot of people think, is a dying product. And it's a dying, and you can prove it by the viewership. It is down, the viewership of NBA games is down something like 48%. So people aren't being satisfied with the product. Why aren't they satisfied with the product? You listen to most people, they go, and I mean, I'm not even talking about the old school guys who say there's too much palming and they don't call walking enough. I'm talking about mainstream NBA fans who don't like the fact that the league has turned into a three-point shooting contest, basically. Coaches teach now the three-point shot. It has gotten to the point where a guy can get directly to the basket and he'll kick it out to a three-point shooter. Like, instead of finishing, he'll get to the basket and still kick it out to a three-point shooter because that's where the trend of the NBA. 3 is better than 2 is being taught in the NBA. Dribble, drive, kick out, get open threes because that's an easier way to accumulate points. Even though the statistics would say that it's really not because you're only going to shoot three-point shots at best as a team at like 35%, where 2-point shots are going to be close to 50%. So people are looking at this and they're being turned off to the NBA. So philosophically, I want to know from people, are you turned off to the NBA in general? Now, you're still going to be a Sixer fan. If the Sixers compete for a title, you're going to be back in. There's no question. If a miracle happens this season where Embiid comes back, Paul George, Maxey, and they get all that thing together and they make a run, we're going to be engaged. But in general, has the NBA product lacked? Now, Bill, you're not an NBA guy. You don't watch the NBA. You're bored by the NBA.
Yeah, I watch.
Why is that?
Well, I watch the Sixers.
Uh-huh.
But a major reason why I don't enjoy watching other NBA games is because the regular season doesn't matter to the players. It doesn't matter to the team. So why should I take time from my day to watch a regular season game that the league has told me doesn't matter? Like, I'll watch the playoffs. I'll get into it in the playoffs. I know the playoff ratings are down as well. But I like watching games that mean something. That's what I love about the NFL. That's why I don't want to see the NFL expand to more than 18 games, because every game usually matters to one of the teams. It's what makes it intriguing for people. NBA games don't matter in the regular season. Everybody makes the playoffs. You got 10 damn teams now that make the playoffs. So I'll tune in when the playoffs start. And I feel like there's a lot of people who agree with me on that.
Okay, so I asked myself, you just say, why doesn't it matter? And here's why it doesn't matter the regular season. Because it doesn't matter to the players. It doesn't matter to the players who make that kind of money now. The money has taken the everyday competitiveness out of the NBA, where they go, we're now more of a commodity. I am not going to grind myself up because the playoffs are really the only thing that matters. So I'm going to find a way to get out of this game or that game. And then the team goes, we've got to keep them out of this game. We've got to protect them here. The money investment they have made in players, in addition to the fact that they have brought in all kinds of players based on potential when they haven't proven anything and when they really don't know how to play the game because they haven't played it enough. And so they have ushered in a whole new, we got to get this guy in potential because in 4 years he could be something, which has then reduced the depth of the NBA beyond the stars.
And that's a great point. But there's also another element to it when you talk about the stars. I hate that the stars can dictate where they go. Not in free agency. If a star's unhappy, if Joel Embiid decides this summer he doesn't want to be in Philadelphia, he can force the Sixers' hand to send him wherever he wants. We've seen it over and over and over again. And I know in certain respects other sports are like that as well, where if a star's unhappy, they could probably get themselves out of a situation. But they can't dictate where they go. I feel like in the NBA, you want to go somewhere, you can make sure it happens. I want to go to Miami, I'm going to make sure I go to Miami.
Well, then you don't like free market enterprise. If you work for a law firm and somebody offered you $1 zillion in another city, wouldn't you go there?
I would.
Okay.
But
when you want to go for I don't know why that would bother you, that they can dictate where they want to be.
Because it's different, okay? It's different in that if I'm an attorney and another law firm comes and throws a lot of money at me and I leave to go to that other law firm, as much as that may hurt the law firm I'm at, it's not going to completely change that law firm for the next 3 to 5 years. Whereas if you have a star and you're trying to build around a star and then he's unhappy there and you have to trade him, I think it sets back franchises. It's just, I think it's not a comparable thing to other type of businesses or other type of entities. I think in a sports situation, teams are built. And when you sign players to contracts, especially in the NBA.
It's the same thing. It's a business. They're all businesses. If a player wants to play for a better in a better city for a better business, why shouldn't he have the right to do that? Like, why would you restrict him?
Well, that's what free agency's about.
Well, okay, but you
should have to hit free agency.
But it's like you're violating antitrust now if you prevent a guy from going where he wants to go.
No, if you sign a 4-year contract in the NBA, I don't think that you should be able to force your way out after a year.
You don't have to force it. You can keep him. Nobody's forcing you. He can make it miserable for you, but nobody's forcing you.
In the NBA, it's become.
Yeah, I don't agree with
when
that.
When they want to leave, they leave.
If you want to go somewhere, you should have the right to go. It's free market enterprise. But the NBA.
Wait, hold on.
What?
So you're telling me that if a player signs a contract with a team in the NBA, which are guaranteed contracts, so we're not talking about the NFL where you can make the argument, well, a team can cut you, so you should be able to do it. We're talking about guaranteed contracts in the NBA. Do you think they should be able to force themselves out? They should say, look, I'm going to be unhappy. I'm not going to play. I'm going to be a problem. And I'm not going to agree to any trade unless you send me
do anything
there.
You want. They have then they can say, well, I'm not going to pay you then. You can sit here and rot. They have the right to do that. You can force your way out to the extent that they let you force your way out. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't have the right to want to go somewhere else. Look at all these colleges now, what they're doing.
What, the transfer portal?
Yeah. Kids have a right to go where they want to be. You have a problem with that? They sign a letter of intent to stay at that university. They break it on. Anyone going to transfer portal? Want to go? You have a problem? It's the same thing.
Well, it's not because
Why not?
Because if you go to a college, yeah, you may make money through NIL, but that's your own name, image, and likeness. When you go and sign a contract in the NBA, the team is paying you under that contract, and they're trying to build a team based off of thinking that they have this player for a certain amount of time.
And it didn't work out. He's unsatisfied for a particular reason. Either because the team stinks and they haven't built a championship team, or he doesn't like the city. He wants to go somewhere where he wants to be. What's the problem with that?
So if Joel this summer decides he doesn't want to be here anymore,
perfectly within his right.
you're going to be all right.
Perfectly within his right. If he doesn't want to be here, why should he be here?
Nah.
Free market enterprise, Billy. 610-632-0975. We'll talk about it. It's General Knowledge Wednesday because I'm going to add a hockey topic after this.
Now,
Philosophy day. So we started talking about why we're more engaged when we're miserable than when they're good, which I believe the fan base is. It's like, yeah, they're good. Hey, the Eagles look good, don't they? Yeah. But if the Eagles lost, what, Mike? What happened when what the coach is going to do in this? The quarterback. There's more of a conversation, right? So we take it to the next level. With the NBA, do you believe the NBA is a dying product? And are you one of the members that make it a dying product? Are you less interested in the NBA because of what the NBA has become? So let me take it now to hockey. The philosophical question is this: why doesn't a majority audience hook on with hockey?
Well, I think
I'll go to Mr. Hockey Bill.
Yeah.
Why doesn't a majority audience hook up with hockey? Fly fans lament all the time that we don't talk about them, but we don't talk about them because we have to read the page, and reading the page is, well, people aren't interested. So the question is, why aren't they interested?
I think there's a couple of reasons why people aren't as interested in the NHL as they are in the other three major sports. First of all, of the four major sports, hockey is by far the worst when it comes to translating to the television. It is such a different experience live than it is on TV. I love hockey. I love watching hockey. It's not even close to enjoying it as much on television as it is in person. It just doesn't translate as well to the TV. The other three sports do. Football, by far the best sport to watch on television, but even the NBA and baseball, you can watch the game on TV. It may not be as good as it is live, but the difference between live and television isn't as drastic as it is in the NHL. And I also think a lot of people didn't play hockey growing up. I mean, most of us, even if you didn't play football, you had a football catch. You played baseball. You shot a basketball. Not many people played hockey growing up, so I don't think they connected with the sport like people who have played it. I think that's a couple of the reasons why. And for a long time, it was more foreign than it is. I mean, you have a lot of U.S. players now. There's a lot of good U.S. players. But for a long time, it was the Canadian players, the European.
Little sport played by foreigners.
It was to start. I mean, it's becoming more mainstream. But I still think that's a reason why. Like, you've watched hockey live and on TV. There's no comparison.
Hockey scares people somehow.
A little bit. They're moving fast.
It scares them to the point where they don't really want to learn about it. I was always like flummoxed by that. Like, why would you not want to learn about it more?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's also, and I see people talking about this in the YouTube chat, as far as playing it, it's by far the most expensive sport to play.
Yeah.
The equipment's expensive, the ice time's expensive.
You don't have to play it really to be engaged in it. You really don't have to have played hockey to be engaged.
No, you don't.
Haven't played football at a certain level. Having a catch is not playing football.
No, but because it translates so well to television, I think.
But everybody, there's a kid, you get a Milek hockey stick, and
the little street hockey.
You have the orange ball. You're flipping it around, right?
But
it's the same thing as throwing a football in the yard.
Well, first off, I mean, we also, and I'm going way back now, before HD televisions, hockey was even tougher to watch on TV, trying to follow the puck. And now, even with HD, it doesn't have the same level of experience as it does live.
That's fair.
And I think that's why it doesn't connect.
But I think it goes deeper than that. It's hockey, for some reason, that people think is peculiar. And so I just want to know why you feel that way. All right? This is General Knowledge Wednesday, okay? And the prize, ironically, is a Flyers Santa sack. So if you've never seen a game, this is a great prize to get. If you're a hockey fan, this is a fantastic prize to get. The Santa sack includes a pair of Flyer tickets, an autographed item, and you might get Michkov, food and beverage voucher, Philadelphia Wings lacrosse tickets thrown in.
It's a great prize.
And so you get a twofer. Everything you need for the game in one gift. It's you can buy the Santa sack at PhiladelphiaFlyers.com. But if you win it here, you need to come here and pick it up because we'll give you the sack.
Maybe Ray will hand deliver it to you when you come. Get a nice picture with Ray. Pretty privileged Ray. He's not very happy right now.
Right.
Oh, man, I'm letting you. You're making the joke. Liz. Keep delivering the monologue, man. It's going well.
Wait,
People are laughing at home.
What monologue?
Anyway, the point is,
You're doing a little
The
nice little
point
set
is
there, a
that
couple
the
jokes.
audience
Fire
is-
them away.
Hold on, real quick too. About
The audience is tied with Ray 1-1, by the way.
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
going to get
like-
away from Ray now
Go
because
ahead.
he's too angry.
Yeah,
I just feel like crap today, man.
He's not happy today. So we were talking about one of the things I don't like about the NBA is there's too many teams that make the playoffs. And a couple people in the YouTube chat said, well, hockey's the same way. And I just want to make sure that I explain there is a major difference between NBA playoffs and NHL playoffs. First of all, 10 teams make the playoffs in the NBA with the play-in. There's only 30 teams in the NBA. So that means 60 or 10 teams in each conference. That means 67% of the teams would make the playoffs, right? Because you got 20 divided by 30.
You can't count 10, though, because really
They got a shot.
Only 8 make it.
But then in the NBA, in the NHL, you got 32 teams and only 16 make it, which is only 50%. But even more than that, look at the play-in tournament last year. The Atlanta Hawks were 10 games under 500, and they got into the play-in tournament. The 8 seed in the Eastern Conference of the NHL last year was 12 games over 500. It's not easy to make the playoffs in the NHL. And then when you do, is there anybody that's going to try to compare the 1 versus 8 seed in the NBA playoffs to the 1 versus 8 seed in the NHL playoffs?
See, now you're going provincial.
The level of intensity is insane in the NHL playoffs.
I agree with that. It's probably the best playoffs.
Yeah, the
NHL.
Every
But
series has intensity. Not in the
I
NBA.
get it, but you're getting a little provincial with your hockey love here.
Yeah, but Mike, I mean, most NBA playoff series, you know what the outcome's going to be. Most of the time. Some of the good ones, you don't know. Oh, it's going to be a battle.
Yeah, but there's in hockey, there's more things unusual that could happen. Like the bounce of the puck can dictate whether you win a game or not. It doesn't happen in other sports.
Yeah, but it is the intensity with which the NHL playoffs are played is unparalleled.
I agree with that. There's no question about it. All right, so we have some text on Bill and text on the NBA. So let's get to the Bill text, Ray.
All right, the town of Pottstown today coming after Bill for some reason. We'll start with MJ in Pottstown asking a very simple question. How did Bill Colarulo pass the bar?
Yeah, what the hell did I do then?
Bill's a lot smarter than he looks.
What did I do?
Unfortunately, I think they were only listening over the air, so it's a lot smarter than he sounds.
I will say that. Bill's a lot smarter
hold on.
than he looks.
Wait, seriously, though, where did this come from? I get it in the YouTube chat. We get callers coming at me, this shtick that I'm dumb. Where did this happen?
Well, there've been plenty of examples.
Yeah, I think it was the
Let's face it.
antonym comment earlier where you didn't understand the song game at first. I think that's when that text was sent.
What have I done?
There's been plenty of examples.
If people remember from yesterday,
Yeah.
the conversation of wives in the YouTube chat, JB in Pottstown just wanted me to let you know that he wants you to tell everyone that his wife is in the chat. If you're going to bring up wives in the chat today, JB wants it known. His wife is in the chat.
All right, hold on.
Wait, he hasn't done that yet. It's 11:30.
She was in the
almost,
chat earlier.
And obviously, and Bill's wife, she hasn't mentioned that she's in the chat.
Let me clarify, okay? The reason why I gave her the shout out yesterday is because yesterday she was 36 weeks pregnant. And I said, oh, here's my wife, 36 weeks pregnant, in the chat, killing this pregnancy game. That's what I was saying.
Okay.
All
That's
right?
what he was
Yeah,
saying.
it's mandatory. It's required. Yeah, so we're used to it. 610-632-0975. Mike Missanelli Show. We'll get to our text on the NBA. Back to general knowledge with our calls after this.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Passing the test. I'm Ray Dunn. This update is brought to you by PayPal. Get exclusive cashback offers in the app, and with the PayPal debit card, stack 5% more in your chosen monthly category up to $1,000 in purchase. Don't just pay. PayPal. The Eagles found their way to victory, through their way to victory on Sunday, beating the Steelers on the strength of Jalen Hurts' arm, especially early in the game. Hurts did a tremendous job getting the ball out quick, and on Tuesday, offensive coordinator Kellen Moore commended his performance.
Jalen did an excellent job of working through his progressions, getting the ball out of his hands. Protection was excellent. I thought our guys did a really good job early in that game, finding that rhythm and playing at a high level.
Hurts and this Eagles team will try and keep that rhythm going down to Landover, Maryland on Sunday to play the Washington Commanders. If the Eagles can win their 11th straight on Sunday, they'll lock up the NFC East, which will be their 11th division title since 2000. Elsewhere in Eagles news, they also opened the practice window today for Bryce Huff. The Flyers go on the road tonight against Detroit Red Wings at 7 o'clock. You can listen to the game tonight right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. And tonight the NBA is off entirely following last night's NBA Cup Finals game where Doc Rivers and the Milwaukee Bucks captured the league's second ever in-season tournament. I'm Ray Dunn, the home of the 76ers and the Flyers, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Mike Missanelli show. Let me just say something that has nothing to do with anything we're talking about, but it's just like on an air a grievance. And people have no time for this, but I got to air it anyway. We have a parking lot downstairs for this building that we're in, and it's deplorable. And I beseech the people who run this place, this One Bala Plaza building, to please do something about the parking situation. There aren't enough parking spaces for this wing of the corporate building where a lot of people work. Let me just give you an example. Yesterday, I was counting my steps from where I parked for where I got into the entrance. Are you ready for this? I counted, Bill, 1,932 steps.
Where the heck did you park?
Humor me here. 1,932 steps. 2 feet a step. That's 3,864 feet I walked. A frickin' mile is 5210. Now, should I have to walk 3,864 feet to get in my own building?
It's good for you.
I would say no.
Can you do something? Can you build a parking garage here? Can you open the back parking lot for people? You've got 2 medical offices here where, I don't know, 30 parking spaces are reserved for medical office building visitors only. There's another 7 or 8 for handicap, which is fine. But then there's also 6 for the electrical cars.
Which are never there.
Right.
Which are never there. The problem is it's the proportions of the parking garage. Because what you said, our wing. Our wing is very small, and they get all taken up with the medical parking. And then the other wing that's on the other side of the building
parking
is
spaces.
too big.
But the building is massive here on our side with a little parking lot. Now, does that make any sense?
It does not.
I would say no.
So now what happens is the people who actually work have to cheat. And some of them then park in the damn medical spots, which surprised the medical people.
Well, the problem is the medical visitors are not told to only park in the medical spots, so they take all of our spots first. It is a problem. It is a problem. It's not a problem on Mondays and Fridays because I think with the new work from home rules, it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday that's a massive problem. Monday, Friday, there's no one ever here. And the time we get here is bad because most of the time they're already filled up.
1,932 steps.
I'm basically parking at Hagen Arena every day.
Hagen Arena. That's St. Joseph University, which is 2 miles down.
Basically, you might as well.
Yeah.
Better chance of parking there than here.
Oh, all right. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
You could complain, but who would listen?
Yeah. Let's go to Matt in Allentown. Matt, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Matt.
Hey, good morning, guys. Happy holidays.
Hello, Matt. How are you?
I'm doing better than you, I suppose. I didn't have to walk 1,000 steps to work.
Today, I got a spot. Yesterday, let me repeat it again. What was it? 1,932 steps. All right, go ahead.
I just wanted to talk about the Eagles and why I'm confident I think they're going to the Super Bowl this year. If you look back over the last 23 Super Bowl winners since 2000, 17 of them have had a top 10 defense, right? And obviously we're in that mix right now. And the exciting part is I think the defense is getting better every week. If you watch what they've done since the Bucs game, they're holding people to like 15 points a game while the offense is scoring over 28. So regardless if we get the number 1 seed or not, I think we go into any opposing stadium and take the wind out of the crowd.
I totally agree with you. That defensive angle that you just pointed out is really key because it's an edge over anybody they're going to play.
Yeah, especially if you're going on the road. I mean, what's the one thing that gives crowd life is offense. If we take that away, I think
and defense travels, baby. Defense travels.
Absolutely.
All right, man. Gentlemen, Alex, question for you?
Yeah, sure.
All right, it's the Mafia quiz. Oh, here we go. All right, the question is the English translation of Cosa Nostra is what?
Cosa Nostra.
Cosa Nostra, which is the Mafia is referred to as the Cosa Nostra. What is that in English mean? Say.
Oh,
man, I'm disappointed.
I don't got it.
All right, he's out. Bill?
I know it. Do we want to give Ray a chance?
Well, no, I'm not going to let him steal.
I think it means our affair.
It means our thing.
Yeah, our thing.
It means our thing. All right, Ray? What is the island on which the Mafia originated?
Staten Island.
Oh, my God, Ray.
No idea.
I feel personally offended.
Well, it started in Italy, so you're in the wrong country, first of all. The island, the mafia, you never heard that I'm half Sicilian. The mafia began in Sicily.
There you go, Sicily.
Oh, come on, Ray. Don't say there you go.
Listen,
Ray's dismissive about it.
I told you guys this category. I played the buzzer for the beginning. I know nothing of the mafia.
Like you never even heard that the mafia is an organization that began in Sicily?
I didn't too deep on diving on the mafia.
Well, you don't have to do
Ray
a deep dive on that.
The mafia existed.
This is very disappointing.
I'm more concerned about Ray's attitude today. You just don't seem very happy at all today.
Snarky attitude.
My voice is shot.
Well, I'm not asking you to say anything. I'm just asking you to say one word, Sicily.
You know, Ray, you don't have to say anything. A smile goes a long way. I'll tell you, Ray. Very upset.
You're getting ripped by the people, our phone screeners. Come on, Ray.
Yeah, they could be upset at me too. Well, you want me to lie? You want me to look this up? Like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Wait, when's your next
Tonight.
Oh, okay. That's why you got to rest your voice.
The story Frank Sinatra has a cold. Every time I lose my voice, that's the attitude I bring.
Your voice sounds fine.
Yeah, well, it's killing me right now to do it.
Have a Ricola.
I don't have a Ricola.
You need to get the throat coats.
Ricola. Have one.
I got some throat coat. I'll give you that.
Give him a throat coat.
Throat coats are good.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at on the YouTube.
Very angry.
On the YouTube, I could see Ray closer because the camera switches to him.
Yeah.
The anger in his eyes.
He does have angry eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a little nervous, Ray. I'm not coming back there during the breaks anymore to say hello.
Oh, no.
Ray, you got to play the song Angry Eyes by Loggins and Messina. About me coming up with Angry Eyes. One of my favorite songs ever, too. We'll play it coming back. That's right, Angry Eyes. Let's go to Craig in South Carolina. Craig, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Good morning, Mike. How are you?
What's up, Craig?
Hey, I'm happy you're back, buddy.
Thanks, pal.
I've been with you since the genesis of your career, and you guys are good together. You guys are really good together.
Thank you. We're having fun.
Good. Happy to hear it. Actually, literally. I want to talk about and point out the profound power of one spoken word. AJ, what do you think's wrong with this offense? Passing. Mm-hmm. And everything changed. I've been personally waiting for 2 years almost to see this happen. Get the ball, shotgun, drop back, third step, your right foot plants, boom, deliver the ball. 97% of the plays run with Smith and Brown. They're going to be open with the best corners in the league on their back. They're going to be open at least 2 or 3 steps on every play. Mm-hmm. I have not seen that. I've seen more of Hurts looking for an open guy, circling around back, getting, throwing it away, getting sacked. And I don't know if it's Jalen's fault or not. I really don't. I thought it was. I don't know. Because it changed.
This is what I think. I think that they need to scheme Jalen Hurts up to be his most efficient self. And when they don't, I think that's when he struggles. That's when he holds the ball too long, blah, blah, blah. If he's got a direct pattern, if you notice, when Jalen Hurts gets the ball out of his hand on time, it's usually a completion. Every time, I don't even have to see the receiver catch it. When he is on time, back, boom, goes, it's going to be a completion. He never throws an incompletion when he's on time.
I agree. I was thrilled to see it. I was so pleased. But they really only did it for about a quarter and three quarters. In the second half, you didn't see a lot.
Yeah, they got away from A.J. Brown a little bit. But, by that time, listen, the biggest thing we were discussing was, can he win a game with his arm? Well, he really doesn't have to win a game with his arm. We're not talking that he has to throw, these big explosive plays. His arm is sufficient to win a game when they scheme it up properly.
Absolutely, and you can mix it up. I mean, we got the best running back in the NFL.
Yep. All right, man.
And line. Right.
Craig, general knowledge question.
Go.
All right. I'm going to make this one easy on Ray and maybe a little harder on you. Okay, what is the German word that people use when someone sneezes?
Gesundheit.
Correct. Oh.
That was hard? You said you were going to make it hard on him.
I don't know. Ray, would you have gotten
Nope,
that one?
not shot.
Ray,
Oh, really? Maybe that's an older thing.
Ray,
like-
Ray would have got that.
Growing up, I feel like people said that all the time.
Gesundheit.
Yeah.
All right, Ray. What does a bellhop carry?
Bags.
Okay, I'll give him that. Luggage.
Yeah, that counts.
All right, there you go. So there, that was easy.
Like nice 2-2 tie.
2-2. I'm going to get Ray smiling again. All right.
Well, I got throat
Appreciate
coat
it.
I'm going to bring
2-2.
into him. I'm gonna get him his throat coat. I have him in my bag.
All right.
Try to cheer him
He's
up.
more than throat coat at this point. He's angry. He's an angry elf, like Greg yesterday.
Greg's on the hold.
Greg is on hold.
That's it. Maybe I need a Mad Elf.
Maybe you
Mad
do.
Elf.
I need a nice little 11 ounce
Mad
or
elf,
11%
not an
Mad
angry
Elf.
elf.
It was almost like Greg was listening, though. I said to Mike at the break, I wonder if Greg's going to call today. Boom, he calls.
Yeah, Greg's got a headache. Let's go to Dom on a cell. Dom, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Dom.
Mike, Bill.
What's up, Dommy? How you doing, buddy?
Well, I just spilled a whole cup of hot coffee on my lap sitting in the car, so not great.
Ooh. Did that hit the jewels?
A little bit.
Ooh.
Yeah, it nicked it. Nicked it. But I wanted to call. Because you were talking about is basketball dying. And
Yes.
I think, for me, I mean, as somebody who hasn't watched the Sixers game all year, mainly because of Joel not playing, I don't tune in to basketball as much as I used to because I know what I'm getting. I'm getting a bunch of guys going three-pointer to three-pointer, shooting up threes, and then running back and not playing defense. Now,
No,
I get the analytics.
did. Now, this is where I disagree. They do play defense. I think the NBA is underrated for defensive. Athletes can really play defense in this league. It's just hard to chase out to a three-point shot when you dribble drive. There's always going to be somebody open because everybody double teams. Like you have weak side defense all the time. So that's where the defense is good. But it's reason that the only open shot that you can count on every time out is the open three when you move the basketball on a dribble drive.
Well, doesn't that talk to this current status of basketball and how it's just not I love basketball. It's my second favorite sport. It used to be, in my opinion, a poetic game. Now it's just, the best athletes go and shoot a ball, and then they run back, and then they try to not shoot a ball. There's no flow. There's no poetry. There's no, there's nothing to it anymore. And that's,
the medium range game has been taken out of the game.
Yeah,
because let's face it, they want more points in the NBA, so they encourage the three-point shot, and these coaches reason if I can make a three, they need 2 possessions to beat that from medium range. So that's what the philosophy is. If you get a 3 and you make 2 in a row, now they got to make up 6 points. Go ahead.
And one more thing. I'm not going to stand for this Bill Colorado slander on Bill just because he is chiseled from granite that he's stupid. I'm not standing for that anymore.
I appreciate it, Dom.
I don't know.
It's ridiculous.
I don't know. Maybe we're trying to investigate whether somebody took the bar.
Well,
for them. They have face identification.
It's prejudice against gym goers.
Yeah, I hear you. All right, Dom, here's your general knowledge question.
All right.
This is song title antonyms. So if I say, died to be tame, what song am I looking for?
Live to be free?
No.
Oh, incorrect, Dom. Incorrect.
That was a good guess. It's Born to be Wild, right?
Born to be Wild. For extra credit, who did the song?
Born to be Wild. Ray?
I knew the song title. I can't get you the artist.
Neither can I.
Really?
Was it
Come
John
on.
Cougar Mellencamp?
No, come on, man.
I don't know it.
Steppenwolf.
Oh, Steppenwolf. I wouldn't have known
Classic band from the day. All right.
Wouldn't have known it, Ray. Ray can take the lead here, Mike.
While we wait for the question on this one.
He's really
I have
looking
to
for a
say,
hard one.
Dom, coming to your defense and describing you as chiseled from what? Granite? I'll be honest. I don't usually root against the audience. I want a good game for both sides.
Well, I will say this about Dom, because I know him personally.
Yeah.
He's a fellow meathead. That's why he's sticking up for me.
I could see.
Yeah.
All right, here's the question. Bitter adult yours.
Bitter adult. What was the last word?
Yours. Bitter adult of yours, or shortened to of.
Oh, Sweet Child of Mine.
Wow, that's a good one,
How
Ray.
about that? How about him? Him Guns N' Roses.
That was that 1500 SAT
Yeah,
brain.
it was.
Working it through.
He figured it out.
That was
Or
good,
just
Ray.
someone whose parents played that song plenty.
We're tied?
No, Ray has the lead.
Ray took the lead there?
3-2 Ray.
Dom had the Ziggy. Ray's in the lead. I wasn't predicting that. But the next question comes from the Mafia quiz.
It could be tied.
It could be. Let's go to Greg in Bethlehem. By the way, Nick Sirianni is coming up at 12:10, so don't change your dial. He's coming up. Well, hopefully he'll be on time at 12:10. He may have a lot of good things to say.
I don't like tardiness.
All right, yesterday this caller was banged out heavy on Mad Elf beer, and he joins us now. Greg from Bethlehem. Greg, how you feeling, buddy?
Oh, I'm good.
You good?
I'm only 2.5 Mad Elves into the day.
It's 11:45.
Hell yeah, Greg.
I know. It's
Greg, 12% alcohol.
I know.
That's 24% and a half.
Also known as 30.
Come on.
Also known as 30.
I don't have a lot on my plate today.
You better get some on your plate. You can't be drinking without anything in your stomach. But go ahead.
Well, I can't say I haven't eaten anything, but I don't have much on my agenda today, I should say. But to me, the transfer portal should be a violation of contract law. It really hurts programs like Villanova. Jay Wright's whole approach was, to find diamonds in the rough, polish them up, and by the time they're seniors, they're winners. But, they don't. It's almost like the smaller programs are the minor leagues for the big programs, and I don't think that's right.
So you don't. I'm sorry. So you're saying that the transfer portal is a violation? In fact, it's the opposite. If they didn't have the transfer portal, it would be a violation of antitrust. You're saying contract law? What contract? Basically, you're just signing a letter of intent. Technically, that's not a binding contract.
Well, if you agree to go to a particular school, you should have to abide by that, and unless the school violates the contract. I mean,
you can't restrict. See, here's the thing: they used to have you had to sit out a year. But what the NCAA realized is that that was a violation of antitrust, so they would lose in court. So they go, Congress is going to come in here. We just got to let it go. And so that's where the transfer portal comes in. Now, interestingly enough, I want to talk about on the other side. Bill, you said these NBA players don't have a right to go where they want. What restricts us from going from place to place in our contracts?
Non-compete.
Exactly. Covenant not to compete. You break a contract in the NBA, can there be a covenant not to compete? No, because that would be a violation of antitrust. So why can radio companies get away with it?
You can't, and to your analogy about law firms, you can't do that to a lawyer. There's no non-competes in law.
No, and there shouldn't be in the radio business either, and that's why there's going to be legislation that takes all that out. So that's why you can't do it. All right, we're getting too deep. 610-632-0975. Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Passing the test. I'm Ray Dunn. This update is brought to you by Popeyes. It's football season in Philly, so you got to have some grub. Popeyes has just the John for any fan of the birds. We're talking wings, baby. So fly to Popeyes, fly and fill up on wings in 7, delicious flavors. The Eagles threw their way to victory on Sunday, beat the Steelers on the strength of Jalen Hurts' arm, especially early in the game. Hurts did a tremendous job getting the ball out quick. And on Tuesday, offensive coordinator Kellen Moore commended his performance.
Jalen did an excellent job of working through his progressions, getting the ball out of his hands. Protection was excellent. I thought our guys did a really good job early in that game, finding that rhythm and playing at a high level.
They're looking to keep that rhythm going in Landover, Maryland on Sunday as they play the Washington Commanders. If the Eagles go in their 11th straight on Sunday, they'll lock up the AFCs, which will be their 11th division title since 2000. Today, the Eagles opened up the practice window for Bryce Huff as well. Elsewhere, the Flyers go on the road tonight against Detroit Red Wings at 7 o'clock. You can listen to the game right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. And tonight, the NBA is off following last night's NBA Cup Finals. Doc Rivers, the Milwaukee Bucks, become the second ever in-season tournament champs. This update's also brought to you by PayPal. Get exclusive cashback offers in the app with the PayPal debit card. Stack 5% more in your chosen monthly category and up to $1,000 in purchases. Don't just pay. PayPal. I'm Ray Dunn on the home of the 76ers and the Flyers. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Time, everybody. Mike Missanelli Show on the air. 12 o'clock hour brought to you by Service First Heating and Air Conditioning. Get 0% financing for 72 months, $500 rebate when you purchase a complete heating and cooling system from Service First. Learn more at servicefirsthvac.com. All right, we've been talking about a variety of philosophical things today. Number one being why we are more engaged when we're miserable. We have a good team now, and we're like, we're just floating in the air. Also, the NBA. Do you feel it's a dying product? Well, the ratings would say it is. Is it because of the three-point shot and people aren't interested in the intricacies that used to be in the NBA? And finally, why doesn't a majority audience hook on with hockey? But we'll get back to those topics, and it's General Knowledge Wednesday, so a very full day. And Ray has a 1-point lead in General Knowledge where we're giving away a Flyers Santa sack. I'll tell you more about that in a minute. But right now, it is time for the News at Noon.
There's a whole lot going on in this world. It's time to catch up. Here's the News at Noon. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
News at Noon. Ray Dunn digging out 3 interesting little tidbits for us to peruse. What do you got today, Ray?
All right, let's go back to yesterday. Dominique Foxworth said that Jalen Hurts has pretty privilege. And the internet took about 2-3 hours, maybe less than that, to find out exactly why he would have such strong feelings about the way Jalen Hurts looks. Here is Dominique Foxworth and his wife on his podcast talking about Jalen Hurts.
I don't care if anyone else in the world thinks I look nice. My daughters, they're so sweet. Wow. They tell me, like, you look nice. I mean, I want to think I look nice. If Jalen Hurts happened to see me, he thought I look nice.
I was wondering, we should put a clock on how long it takes to you.
Like, because I'd be like, look at him thinking an old woman looks nice. You know what's interesting about Jalen Hurts? Okay, obviously, I'm not saying he looks old, like in a bad way, but he looks mature. He does.
He is mature.
He is, but most importantly, he looks it.
From a football standpoint, that's one of the things,
I don't
most
care
positive
about that
things
standpoint.
I think that those are connected. You can't be a mature football player and not be a mature human, and it seems like a lot of decisions he made with the people he surrounds him with are a reflection of him being more mature than most people. You want me to wrap it up so you can talk about how handsome he is?
Wrap it up so I can talk about the fact that he looks mature, which makes me feel like when I see, quite honestly,
you feel less like a disgusting person.
Sanders and Shiloh Sanders, they're very handsome too, but they look like babies. So I can't look at them and be like, ooh, they're handsome. I can look at Jalen Hurts even though he's a baby too.
He's not a baby like
them. He's not a baby like them.
He's like 26, 27.
Okay, and I'm 39.
Yeah.
But yes, if that 26, 27, however old he is, want to think I look nice. But the person I care most about me thinking I look nice is my husband right here.
You look nice.
Uh-huh.
So I saw another clip.
Did he say this on the air before the podcast or after?
After.
After.
This is an old clip.
He got the pretty privilege because his wife
thinks he's pretty. And I saw another clip of the wife on that podcast talking about the tush push. And she was like, "Ooh, I want to touch that tush." She really likes Jalen Hurts. Really likes Jalen Hurts.
So do you think Dominique give her a hall pass?
He said you could touch the tush, and then it went on this whole other tangent about how, that means it opens the door for him to touch a tush or something like that. So who knows? I think they were just having fun.
You and your wife ever talk about a hall pass, Bill?
Absolutely not.
Oh, why? That's a normal conversation.
No.
Not that you would act on it, but
I don't need it.
What would she give you if there was somebody out there that you would ask her for a hall pass? Who would it be fictionally?
Fictionally, my hall pass or her hall pass?
Hers.
I don't know. I don't know who it would be. I'll have to ask her tonight. Thanks, Mike. This will be a great conversation we'll have tonight.
What was yours?
I don't know who mine would be either, to be honest with you.
Smart. Don't have one just right off the top of your head.
I'd have to think about it.
You know she's listening to
very
every
strategic
word he says because she's in the chat.
My wife is the least jealous.
Bill's afraid to go there.
Her thing would be, you do whatever you want as long as you could sleep at night and put your head on the pillow. So, it's all up to me.
All right. Well, healthy dynamic. We'll just keep moving here with the news at noon. I'm not going to comment any further on your relationship. Let's go to the NBA Cup Finals.
Right. I'm enjoying a fig bar.
Oh, very nice. You get that out of the vending machine?
I did.
That was my breakfast yesterday.
Oh, really? It's my breakfast today at 12 o'clock.
It's not a cookie. It's a fig Newt. Go ahead, Ray.
All right. We'll continue on. NBA Cup Finals last night. Notably absent from the broadcast, Doris Burke. It was only Mike Breen and Richard Jefferson. Mike Breen opened up the broadcast addressing her absence.
Good evening, everyone. With Richard Jefferson, Mike Green on hand, Lisa Salters with us as well. Doris Burke will not be with us tonight. Doris not feeling well. And I think it's important to state that her absence and illness has nothing to do with the amount of money she lost on the blackjack tables in recent days. The authorities need to know that.
I don't think it has anything to do with that, Mike. I have nothing to do with that at all.
Meanwhile, for our...
Whoa, man, come, Green.
Was that a joke?
Hey,
or is that there's just some truth behind that?
She catching a stray from Breen? Is that supposed to be funny?
It appears to be an attempt at a joke there, but it opens up the door for the question. Why address that?
Well, does she like to play blackjack? We know more details about this then. Like, you just can't throw something like that out there because it was a bad joke. If it was trying to be a joke, it wasn't even funny. He's the guy that probably shouldn't be doing jokes.
Richard Jefferson looked like he had no idea what was happening.
Richard Jefferson was caught off guard on that one.
Yeah, that was... I don't know. I mean, sometimes it's not always easy when you're trying to be funny, but...
Richard Jefferson was busy unbuttoning his fifth button on his shirt.
All right.
There we go. What's
last
number 3?
one? This is how we know Dallas has punted on the season. Because we played earlier this season, them getting all heated with Jerry Jones when he was on the radio. The Dallas media is just giving him softballs at this point. But we did learn a little bit about what he has an appetite for.
All right, Jerry, last one. I want to finish up with a final taste of that Carolina victory. Xavier Legette, their receiver, says that he eats raccoon, and that set the food world ablaze. We talk about hunting and game with you. Have you ever had raccoon or anything similar, which would shock a lot of other non-hunters or game eaters?
I've eaten a lot of raccoon. Yes. The answer is yes. And I've eaten it hunting. I've actually had it served by my mom at the table away from hunting. And I have eaten raccoon. And yes, it's not uncommon at all. I'll tell you something that was one of my favorites, the squirrel. And it's wonderful, and my mother could do a great job of it. And we all had our favorite pieces, and my dad and sister, I have one sibling, a sister, and they would fight over, not fight, but my mom and I, they were just my sister and I as four siblings. My mom and I wouldn't even ask for the brain in a squirrel.
Oh, man.
And delicious, seriously.
All right. Does he have a roadkill background? Like, was he like a Southern hick, a self-made Southern hick, or like what's his background? Where did he make all his money? In oil?
Well, it says he was born in L.A. They moved to North Little Rock, Arkansas. His parents owned a supermarket.
So he comes from, because I would. All right, we'll get to that in a second. Nick Sirianni is at the podium.
So the practice window open for Bryce Huff. What's your anticipation for how quick he can get back out there?
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see how the week goes. We'll see how however long it takes. As you know, the practice window open up. We'll see how it goes.
How much does it help though? If he's able to come back, because obviously you guys have been using only 3 guys at edge rusher position.
Yeah, we feel good about the guys that have been playing and the amount of snaps they've been playing, and Chuck's done a good job as well, and we have a lot of confidence in him. So, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But yeah, I mean, Bryce is a good player, and we look forward to getting him back. Just don't know when that will be quite yet.
Before the injury, he obviously probably wasn't super thrilled with the way his season was going. What did you see from him? How did he handle that?
Yeah, I actually think Bryce has been a good teammate, and for us, he's had moments of having good, playing well. I thought he was, really doing a good job and making some plays. Thinking back to the Dallas game, the big sack he had I think it was the Dallas game, right? They had a big sack, and he's been able to get pressure. We're excited when we are able to get him back. We're excited to have him back in there and rolling.
Nick, I know you guys are always intentional about treating each game the same, preparing the same way. But obviously, one of your goals coming into this season was to win the division, and you can this week. Has that been brought up? Has that been talked about as you guys prep?
No. I know we're pretty boring. We're getting ready to go play this game. We know the that if we do win this game, that will happen. But really, all we can focus on is our preparation. We haven't really talked about that. We'll talk about that after, when we're able to put the hat on or the T-shirt on there. So that's when we'll talk about that.
Nick, what has Doug Nussmeier brought to the table working with Jalen this year?
Yeah, I think he's an outstanding coach who's played the position and at a very high level, in the NFL and big-time college football. And so, Doug's been a great coach for a long time, too, in college and professional football, coached a lot of good players, has been a coordinator. So, again, I just think he's done a really nice job of coaching Jalen and coaching the other guys. And I think he's fit in really well with our staff. And obviously him and Kellen have a prior relationship. And, yeah, really, really pumped that he's on our staff because I think he's a heck of a football coach, heck of a person, and he's doing a great job.
Anything specifically where he's made a difference with Jalen?
Yeah, I think, again, when our players perform all that credit goes to the players, but the coaches are behind the scenes, helping those guys out and trying to help them play to the best of their abilities, and so of course, I wouldn't say I'm not going to get into the specifics of what that is, but but Doug's just a really good coach, consistently focused on the details of his drop, of the fundamentals of how to play and throw, and the drop, the footwork that goes along with it. So all those things, and he's just, I think, Doug's just a bulldog and is always, all right, here now. Anytime there's a issue or a mistake, he's going to be or a footwork mistake, he's going to be on it, and I know that's something they've talked a lot about.
In relation to the staff, it may be a little early to talk about this, but the Jets interviewing for their GM position, maybe think about it. I mean, you guys are playing well enough. Some teams may inquire about some people on your staff, your coordinators. Given the history of that, how have you kind of approached that, or to know that there's dialogue open, clarity, and kind of succession plans in order?
Yeah, again, we've been through that before. You're constantly trying to develop the guys that aren't the coordinators to be able to step into those roles. If that were something that would be called upon, and your eyes always out for, other guys that could be, in play for that as well. Again, we get to that, and you always have to focus on. I know I always say, hey, focus on the time being, where you are, all these things, but there are things that you do have to focus on and think about. In which case some of those things happen, and so. Yeah, that's something that's I wouldn't say is on my mind heavy right now, but we always going into the year, as the year progresses, you have plans on what you think you might do if those things happen.
Your defense has the lowest blitz rate in the NFL. I guess it's number one. From an offensive minded coach's point of view, what does it how does it affect you when a defense doesn't?
And is able to be as productive. Yeah, I mean that's a huge advantage as far as our defense. I think what happens when you blitz are some things that happen. Again, there's many different ways to be successful. As a defense, if you look at all the defenses that have been top five, I mean, are all going to have their different styles. One thing as an offense that you think about when a team blitzes is there's one less guy to tackle your skill players if you are passing in that particular case, once you get the ball in their hands. And I think back to, our Green Bay game, they brought a pressure, the guy missed a tackle, and then there was less people there to chase down AJ. And then also same thing, as a run game, after you get through that first level, there's different blitzes that after you get through that first level, you can really, there's one less guy to tackle when you do that. And so, yeah, I mean, I think we've been really good at stopping explosive plays as a defense. That's part of it. And we've done a good job there of tackling and, and playing different coverages in the secondary. So, many different reasons, a lot of different ways to be successful. Our defense has been playing really good so far.
When you have a sustained stretch
I was looking at you.
of success, do you have to handle things differently when it comes to corrections? When you have this,
Say that one more time.
When you have a sustained stretch of success, do you have to change your messaging at all when it comes to corrections? Do you have to tweak things?
No, I think when you are making corrections, it's the tape is very black and white, right? I mean, as far as either I didn't do my job or I did do my job. That's as a player, that's as a coach. And so, and our job, things that we focus so much on as coaches is to paint the picture very clear so that the job requirement is very clear, right? And so showing them different looks, different pictures, different things like that. Hey, here's a job requirement on this. And when you meet the standard, whether that's in situational football, whether that's on a play design, whether that's on a play design versus a certain look, offensively or defensively, when you meet the standard, you point it out and say, hey, this is really good. When you don't meet the standard, you correct it. I think that's something that you do no matter what. I know that sometimes you can even be harder on guys after wins and through stretches there because you're constantly trying to everyone's trying to get better. So nothing really changes. Again, it's kind of our core value as far as accountability. Our job as coaches is to be very clear and to do the things that we need to do. And then their job as players is to live up to that standard. And so we talk about that, and our corrections to the coaches and players are the same off of that.
You didn't face Marshawn Lattimore the first time with Washington. You did with New Orleans, but has that changed up after what you saw, expanding their coverages and changing up the coverages?
Yeah, it's been one game with him in there. He's a really good football player. We've played against him in the past with our games against the Saints, but really outstanding football player. Probably a little bit too little of film to be able to say, hey, because again, there's just been one game and you can see different things, but. Yeah, he's a really good player that would allow him to do different things like that because of how good he's played in as a pro. So we'll have to be ready for him, and this is a good defense we're going against.
Spoke Monday about player development. How do you do that during the season when so much of the week is game plan specific? And what's Barwin's player development program kind of behind the scenes for you guys?
Yeah, little things that we do. Extra, again, not getting too much into that, but there's we talk about having meetings with just the scout team players to prep them for practice, specifically on their jobs for that, so we get good looks as an offense. Well, a product of that too, or as a defense or in an offense, a product of that is you're spending extra time with them, coaching those guys up, and then we always try to find extra time at the end of the week where they're just, because when you go and you watch the offensive tape after practice or the defensive tape, you're watching, your plays. You're not going back sometimes in the film room and showing the scout team. So we're finding extra time to be able to do that with those guys as coaches, and then extra periods that we have. We always have extra walkthrough periods with developmental guys. We always have, extra periods at the end of the week, 7-on-7, one-on-ones, different things like that with just the developmental guys, and individual periods that are just specialized with them. And again, just trying to, pay them a lot, continue to develop the guys that aren't necessarily playing. I think what Connor does he does a good job of, spending that extra time with these guys as well. Grading the tape and on different ways, maybe that little differently than the coaches look at it. But again, you're trying to develop guys as much as you can. Again, going back, recruit, retain, develop. That's something that has been stuck in my mind for a long time, just with what I was taught, recruit, retain, develop. And Howie and his guys have done a great job of getting guys in here. And, and then our job as coaches is to develop them, and that's not just just as coaches, but through all the different departments we have in this building. Bob and his staff developing them, how to talk to you guys, and so everybody has a little piece of that. As far as how we develop, it's truly an organizational cool thing about an organizational process.
Vic said earlier in the season that he's up in the booth because he likes to spread out, have notes. I know all coaches.
And it's cold at this time of year.
Yeah, that too. And it could be on the camera whenever they. But all you coaches being prepared in your own ways, but that and the other ways, how have you seen him and his thoroughness? It seems like in some ways he takes it to another level.
Yeah. I just always see him pushing ways to get better and pushing way. I mean, he's always watching tape. He's always, if he's not in the staff room watching tape with the guys or his staff, the defensive staff, he's in his room. He's in his room grinding out on tape and looking for anything that can give us an advantage, right? And again, anything that can give him an advantage to call the game, anything that can give our guys an advantage to, to play the game. And so you really admire that because he's, putting the guys in positions to succeed and also just trying to give them every little nugget. I really respect the way he grinds and goes about his business.
Two more, please. In the 5 weeks since you last played the Commanders and Jaden Daniels, what have you seen from him specifically as far as, where they are this year and how well he's been?
Yeah, he's super dynamic. Man, he's a good passer. He's outstanding with the ball in his hands and creating. Got a lot of respect for him. And that, we'll have to play him for a couple times a year for a long time. And so I just continue to see him get better, as he sees different looks and different things like that. And I think they're doing a great job with him as coaches over there as well and adapting the offense around him.
What did you think of Jalen's outfit the other night?
Yeah, he's always got really cool outfits on. I wish I could pull those off.
All right, thank you.
All right, that was it. Now, listen, I don't want to cause any trouble here. There was one story that popped today that was Jay Glazer said or revealed that during the bye week, Brandon Graham and Big Dom went to Jalen Hurts' house. That's it's been verified that happened, to encourage him to engage better with his teammates. And apparently he did make a better conscious effort to do that. That was the story of today. That was not asked to the head coach. Now, listen, I have my views of what journalism is. If that's a story that's out there, you have to ask the head coach about it. So either they didn't want to ask the head coach about it because they don't want to be negative, or they were told not to ask the question to the head coach. Either way, I'm offended.
Yeah, and I think it's probably they were told. Because I can't imagine that not a single reporter in there was curious about that story, especially now that Brandon Graham said lies underneath of it. But they could have asked it even in a positive way. Hey, what does this tell you about Jalen Hurts and his willingness to listen and change? That after that meeting, he made a conscious effort to connect more with his teammates and even you. Because in that Jay Glazer report, he said he met with Nick Sirianni multiple times because of that meeting.
I really don't know how to respond to this because people don't care, really. But as a guy who's been in this business for a really long time, if you're being told that you can't ask a question that is really pertinent, then what the hell are we doing here? Like, are you kidding me? And if you ask the question, there's going to be retribution? Is that what kind of a society we're in now in sports journalism?
What, you don't think that the question about Doug Nussmeier for the second day in a row was the way to go there?
I get it, Rube. You're doing a story on Doug Nussmeier, for Christ's sake. 610-632-0975 is how you climb in. The Mike Missanelli Show's on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Asking the text, I'm Ray Dunn. This update is driven by, is Gary Barbera the best? Boy, I guess Gary Barbera is thankful for Birds captain big man Brandon Graham. Drive like BG today and happy holiday with new Barbera Jeeps, $249 a month. The Eagles threw their way to victory on Sunday, beating the Steelers on the strength of Jalen Hurts' arm. Especially early on in the game, Hurts did a tremendous job getting the ball out quick. And on Tuesday, offensive coordinator Kellen Moore commended his quarterback's performance.
Jalen did an excellent job of working through his progressions, getting the ball out of his hands. Protection was excellent. I thought our guys did a really good job early in that game, finding that rhythm and playing at a high level.
Looking to keep that rhythm going as the Eagles head to Landover, Maryland on Sunday to play the Washington Commanders. If the Eagles can win their 11th straight on Sunday, they'll lock up the NFCs, which would be their 11th division title since 2000. Today, also, the Eagles open up the practice window for Bryce Huff. You just heard from Nick Sirianni, who said, we'll see with regards to Bryce Huff and his ability to come back. Elsewhere, the Flyers are going on the road tonight against the Detroit Red Wings at 7 o'clock. You can listen to the game right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Tonight, the NBA is off following last night's NBA Cup Finals. Doc Rivers, the Milwaukee Bucks win the league's second ever in-season tournament. This update is also brought to you by Macy's Backstage. Macy's Backstage has amazing deals on the holidays' most fun gifts. Get low prices every day on unique finds in-store only at Macy's Backstage. Find a location near you at macy'sbackstage.com. Off-price, on-trend, arriving daily. I'm Ray Dunn on the home of the 76ers and the Flyers. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
The Fanatic, 610-622-0975. General Knowledge Wednesday. Flyer Santa sack. It includes tickets. It includes an autograph. It includes some Flyer memorabilia, I think, or whatever. It's a good prize. So Ray has the lead right now on the audience on General Knowledge Wednesday. Let me ask you a quick question. I just went to the bathroom, right? Now, to get to the bathroom, you have to turn a corner. As I turned the corner to come back, I ran into a guy who was also turning the corner. Literally we ran into each other.
Yeah.
He took my lane. When you turn a corner, don't you not have to go wide to stay in the right lane?
You treat it like you're in a vehicle.
Right.
Yes.
Right. So I'm coming to my right lane around my corner. He's coming around his corner, and he's in my lane. Shouldn't he be wide?
Did he say, sorry, boss, after he bumped into you?
No, but you got a sorry boss today. This is another violation, Ray. Let me ask, because this is like your brethren. So we go down to get coffee together. And, of course, we have to walk. How many steps was it, Bill? It was 1,932 steps.
Yeah, between the parking and the coffee,
Right.
we're getting our workout for the
to
day.
get to the coffee. And so we get to coffee, and we're on our way out. And this young little intern kid with a backwards hat, little rock intern, I'm suggesting he was. He goes, we go, hey, how's it going? He goes to Bill, how you doing, boss? Now, is that a violation?
Yeah. I mean, it's a different world down there. Like,
It's a rock world.
Yeah, there's a reason they stuffed the sports.
Yeah, he's a
crew
rock
down here.
kid with like long stringy hair and a backwards hat. And but I'm saying, like, first of all, he doesn't have the seniority to call anybody boss.
The best was Mike's reaction, though. He looked at me, he goes, did he just call you boss?
I said, did he just boss you?
Maybe he thinks you're in charge of this place, Bill.
All right. In any event, we got a bunch of philosophical things going on right now. I got another one I want to throw out there. This is the day. It's the middle of a week. We don't have any pressing issues unless I want to make it a pressing issue that the whole entire Eagles press corps did not ask the head coach about a story that came out today that Brandon Graham and Big Dom went to see Jalen Hurts to encourage him to engage better with his teammates. That apparently is not a story because the head coach wasn't asked about it today. But so we're just doing philosophical things. Now, how do you feel about going to a restaurant with kids?
Oh, you going the John Kincade tweet?
No. This was a story that was out there.
Oh, because Kincade tweeted last night about you shouldn't bring kids that are unruly to a restaurant. That was Kincade's tweet.
Well, he must have seen this story.
Oh, okay.
There's a story that was out there where people are coming down on this restaurant because they put a notice on their door, which it says in red, polite notice. And the message is, we request any customers dining in with young children to keep noise at a reasonable level and to not let children run around the restaurant. It is dangerous as our staff often walking around with hot food. Additionally, it's inconsiderate to the other diners. In order to look after both our staff and customers, we reserve the right to refuse service. Thank you. People were outraged.
Wait, people were going after the restaurant?
At the aggressiveness of this message.
Love it.
I think that's a perfectly... Look, I got 2 young kids. I got another one on the way. That's a perfectly acceptable thing for a restaurant to ask. You don't... First of all, I don't bring my kids to really nice restaurants for that reason, because you don't know if they're going to be able to sit there and not be loud and distract the other
thing that
diners.
I've noticed about people. Now, I only had one child, so I was never in this category. People that bring their children, like just say it's a couple of couples, and they bring their children, so it's like a big party.
Yeah,
they don't want to mess with their kids. They think it's a break that their kids can do anything they want. They don't want to take responsibility of ruling their kids in that situation as much as they rule from them at home. So I remember being in a restaurant once. We were eating outdoors, and there were bocce courts that are set up. So the parents let the kids roam around because they're busy talking to the people that the adults at the table, so they don't know where the kids are. The kids are at the bocce courts. Well, a kid at a bocce court is going to do what?
Probably going to run onto the court and grab the balls.
And do what with the balls?
Throw them around.
And when you throw them around, what happens? Bang! Off the wood. Bang! Off the wood. Bang! Right? So I'm right there. I'm trying to enjoy a meal. And the parents are oblivious to the kids throwing bocce balls and make them clatter.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think it's unacceptable. Look, bringing your kids to not as nice of a restaurant is one thing. But even still, even if you bring them to, God forbid I say, the Olive Garden in front of Mike, but you bring a kid to there, they still should not be running around the restaurant and being loud and obnoxious.
You don't bring the kids. I'm sorry. Listen, I know you want to go out, but hey, the kids don't want to be at a restaurant to sit there dutifully with their little bow ties on. They're kids. They don't have the patience to sit there with the meal. They want to roam.
That's trying to have it both ways. You don't want to pay for the babysitter, but you want the idea of everything being okay like a babysitter's there. The restaurant's not your babysitter. I agree with you.
That's what a lot of people think.
Also,
unfortunately,
I will say, for people that are in my walk of life, where you're going out and meeting people and out on dates and stuff like this, the unruly kids also opens up the door of conversation about what people think of kids. And when you're early on in conversations with someone, that's not a conversation anybody wants to have.
That's a whole different angle that Ray has now.
I don't want the kids there because I don't want it to open up that door of conversation.
But look, I have been even to First Watch, which is a breakfast place. Mike doesn't like eggs.
I like the First. I was the First Watch in my neighborhood.
So,
I get it.
Big fan of that.
I bring my kids there a lot. And every once in a while, my son, who's 5, he's going to be 6, will sometimes, for whatever reason, be a little loud or do whatever. I immediately take him out of the restaurant, and I tell him, we will leave if you continue this. It's rude to the other people who are eating. We're not home. You're not supposed to do this at a restaurant. I think you have to, but there are some who won't do that, who let the kids
because they don't
just
want to
scream.
be stressed out to have to discipline the kids like they discipline them at home. They're there, and so they think just roaming around that gets the kid out of their hair for a little bit, but it puts the kids in everybody else's hair. And so I actually thought that it was a pretty polite message that this restaurant posted, but they're getting a lot of crap for it. All right, that's just an aside. Let's get back to the phones. We'll talk to Mitch in Phoenix. Hello, Mitch.
My man, how you doing today?
What's going on, Mitch in Phoenix today?
Now, what level of suspension am I on today? I forgot what the last one was.
Yeah, we kind of. I think you served the suspension.
Oh, did I serve it? Am I okay?
You served it. Yeah.
Okay.
Just the fact that
Mike,
you know that we can suspend you was the message.
Say that again.
Never mind. Go ahead. What's your point?
No point. I got a different name for your show instead of the Mike Missanelli.
Yeah, what is it?
As the World Turns.
As the World Turns?
Yeah, I think that's a perfect name for your show. Or any show on The Fanatic.
I mean, what's that mean exactly?
In other words,
do we talk about all kinds of issues?
Yeah, mostly controversial, sadness, the wide receiver's mad at the other wide receiver, stuff like that.
Oh, so we're not supposed to talk about that in your world?
Well, you can to fill time, but,
No, so,
really
it's not a pertinent issue if a wide receiver doesn't like the quarterback. That's not a pertinent issue to you?
No, because I like football.
Okay.
I like when they blow the whistle and they kick the football, and, of course, they take it out to the 30, which has to change next year. That's what I like.
So the fact that a team captain would reveal that the quarterback's relationship with his former friend and top wide receiver was a little faulty, you don't find newsworthy?
Well, obviously you do, because it's been 2 weeks.
No, I'm asking you. Like, how in the world can your brain not think that's newsworthy, is my question to you.
Because I like to hear about what other teams are doing. I like to hear about different types of sports.
There's a reason why you're retired in Phoenix, and there's a reason why we do a show here. Because we can recognize the issues better than a retired curmudgeon who lives in Phoenix.
Hey, Bill, what do you think of his take on this right now? Is he being rude, or is he just trying to be a little...
I agree with him. I think you have to talk about it. Mitch, let's change the scenario. What if Micah Parsons came out and said that Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb used to be friends, but now they're letting their personal relationship get in the way of what's happening on the field? That's a newsworthy story, isn't it? I know we like to look at it as fans and think you can't talk about this because we're Eagles fans. That would be a big story, and we would probably be killing the Cowboys organization saying, look how this Look at this culture they have there. I think it's a part of the story. And we're not talking about it. You say we're still talking about it. We weren't talking about that today. You brought it up.
Well, we need to mention that a trophy was won last night in the NBA. We haven't said anything about that.
Mitch, let me ask you a question. What did you do all your years for a living?
You asked me that at least 5 times.
Oh, well, I want to know. I want to know for the people. I want to know what was your business.
Did you say for the people?
Yeah, I want the people to understand where you because I'm trying to make a connection here. So, what did you do for a living all these years?
What you need to do, and you know where I'm going, you need to Google it.
No. You're not on Google. So what? Just tell me. Just tell me. I'm going to say I have no business commenting on your business. I would know nothing about you better than you about what you did for a living. So can you at least acknowledge that we're in the news business and we sometimes can recognize what's talkable?
Wait a minute, you just changed your story. First,
oh my God, get out of here! Freaking had enough of you.
Well, I don't understand though. He brought up we haven't been talking about AJ and Jalen.
The guy's an idiot. All right, we indulge him every week with his idiotic calls. Now I'm going to say, suppose I don't know what he did for a living. Do you remember what he did for a living? I don't know what he did for a living.
I don't. Right? Do you
Suppose
remember?
he was in some kind of business. Now, would I say to him, you know what? I know more about your business than you do. I would never have any bearing to say that, right? So he's going to tell me what he thinks is newsworthy and what's not newsworthy? Have a little respect for somebody's profession.
Now you got Mitch got Mike all worked up. We should have kept him on suspension.
I was preaching that a long time ago. Long time ago. All right. I looked up Mitch in Phoenix on Google. We got media by Mitch Medeiros. We got Stacy Mitch of the Phoenix Suns. Mitch Jacob,
whatever
ABC
he did for a
15
living to make him
Arizona.
a retired man in Arizona, he probably made some money. God bless him. Whatever he did, he was probably successful at it. I'm not going to wedge my way into his profession.
I just got the definition of miserable.
Like
That's weird.
it's insulting to me. Good God.
What's happening
That reminds me of a long time ago, Rolly Massimino, one of the most irascible forces that ever were in Philadelphia sports, has a radio show. The guy called up and said, "Why do you do this press and this stage of the game?" And Rolly says, "Let me ask you a question, sir. What do you do for a living?" The guy goes, "I'm a lawyer." He goes, "I don't teach you how to law. What are you going to teach me about a press?" All right, let's go to Brian in Pottstown. Brian, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Brian.
I don't even know how to follow that because why he brought up. We didn't bring up that there was an NBA Cup game last night. Yeah, because this is a Philly radio station.
Yeah, nobody really cares that the Milwaukee Bucks beat the
topic.
Oklahoma City Thunder last night for the NBA
Whether you
Cup.
like it or not.
Why do we care? But I called in to tell you why I think you guys were talking about earlier why the interest in the NBA is kind of falling off. Is that what you were talking about earlier?
Yeah, 48.
Right.
I think viewership is down like 48%.
I think it's because every year there's 10 teams that have just absolutely no shot to win the NBA championship. And I think there are the 10 teams that will never win a championship. But there's only realistically 4 teams every year that can win the championship. And I think with the players, with the big three, I think when the big three started, it made the NBA top-heavy. In the NFL, I mean, there's probably 10 teams at the beginning of the season, in my opinion, that could win the championship. But in the NBA, you don't get that. So
I hear that, but I think it's more when I talk to people, they don't like the style of the game, the way it's played. They don't like the concentration on three-point shots. It's a three-point shooting contest now. It's a dribble, drive, kick-out league, and they don't it's boring to people, I think, at this point.
I do agree with that. I mean, watching a guy drive to the basket and getting fouled and one is 10 times more interesting than seeing someone launch a three from 35 feet away. So I do agree with that. But
all right, but they have a problem, and I don't know what they're going to be able to do to solve it. They may have to change some defensive tactics. That these coaches know that an open shot is a better thing than a challenge shot. So when they move the ball, they get an open three. They'll take an open three rather than a challenge two.
I agree.
All right, man.
I think maybe you have to devalue the three-pointer. I don't know how you would do that, but that's the only other option.
Yeah. All right, let's play a little general knowledge with you because you need a correct answer to Ty Ray today. And this is a mafia quiz. The mobster who ran the Chicago outfit in the 1920s was?
I just read about this the other day. I can't remember his name. Was it Al Capone?
Yeah, that's correct. It's Al Capone, correct? Al Capone. Oh, man. Movie Untouchables. You know it's Al Capone.
Al Capone spent a little time at the Eastern State Pen in Philly.
That's right. Most famous mobster of all time, probably.
Yeah, that's probably the only shot I had.
Which brings us to Ray. Ray, you are aware of Al Capone, right?
That's true.
All right. The feds for years tried to get him, and finally, as the movie would indicate, they got him on which federal charge? Crime for which he was convicted was? Ray's got nothing.
Money laundering.
No, close. It was tax evasion.
Tax evasion.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Kevin Costner got him. Kevin Costner and Sean Connery got him.
We got a 3-3 tie.
610-632-0975. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, hold on. We just talked about her a couple of days ago. Bill said she wasn't feeling well, but she is on the line. The great Grandma Ellie checking in. Grandma Ellie.
For which he was.
Grandma Ellie, you can't listen to the radio. Grandma, you're on the air.
Am I on the air?
You're on the air. Turn the television off or turn the radio on, whatever you're listening to.
How come I don't hear you on my radio?
Because we got a delay here, Grandma Ellie. It's a delay, so yeah, we're not synced up with you. Okay, go.
All right, turn it off in the background, Grandma.
Huh?
Turn off the radio in the background because we can hear the echo.
Wait a minute. I have to walk away from this. Wait, hold on, because I'm in a walker, my dear.
Yeah,
Hold
Ellie's
on.
not feeling well.
Okay.
No, I'm not. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. We just hear the show in the background. You got to turn off the show.
Oh, wait a minute. You got to turn off the show?
Yes, you got. to.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I'll go far away from the radio.
Oh, just turn it off. Just turn it off.
I can't because it's on the other side of the house. No, could you hear me now, or do you still hear the radio?
We hear you perfect. Grandma Ellie, how you feeling?
Not well.
No, what's going on?
I'm in a walker right now.
What's going on?
Pain.
Well, what's the problem?
Well, I have a bad hip and a bad back. The hip went out so bad that they can't do anything about it.
They can't get you surgery for the hip?
Operated on.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, and they're fed anesthesia and all that. But other than that, I'm doing all right.
Well, the Eagles are cheering you up a little bit, aren't they, Ellie?
The what?
The Eagles are cheering you up.
Oh, definitely. You're kidding? I can't. I love it. I can't wait till Sunday comes to watch it.
And Ellie, you're one of the people who were saying Nick Sirianni deserved to come back. You always liked the head coach.
Oh, I always said that. No, I like him. He's a great He's a great coach, and we have a good quarterback.
Hey, Grandma, people were checking.
Only thing I feel is though sometimes he doesn't go. Hurts doesn't go far back enough when he has the ball. He doesn't go far back enough to throw it, and many times he gets tackled.
So he has to go further back?
He's got to go further back before he throws that ball.
Yeah, how about a 9-step drop?
Look at the quarterback on Kansas City.
Yeah.
How great he is.
Yeah.
And you notice when he has that ball, he runs all the way back before he throws that ball.
What do you think, Bill?
Yeah, I think she knows her stuff. I think she knows her stuff.
Advocating.
Oh, I know my stuff already.
Now, the nice thing is, even though Grandmom's not feeling well, we're still doing Christmas Eve at her house. It's a big night.
Yeah,
Yes,
Grandma,
you are.
you cooking the fishes?
No, I'm not. I can't.
Oh.
They're going to do it.
All right.
You know, Grandma did it for years. Billy could tell you.
Yeah, everybody's chipping in this year.
You're gonna have the fishes, though, right?
Do something, and they know I can't get out of the house. We were supposed to have it at Mullica Hill at one of my grandson's houses, but I can't go. I can't get out.
That's all. People will come to you. Don't worry about it.
All the people that ask about me.
A lot of people are asking
I wanna
about you.
thank them.
Yeah, they want you to stay healthy, Ellie.
Yeah, and I want to thank them for thinking of me.
Well, you listen. You make an impact on people. You're
No,
a kind-hearted woman.
I am, and Billy could tell you.
Billy tells me all the time.
Actually, speaking of Billy, Graham, people are saying that I'm dumb. Now, you've known me my entire life. Would you ever say I'm dumb?
Never. Never. Do you know when he went to college, I don't know if he ever told you, don't brag, my grandson.
Uh-huh.
But when he went to college at the Temple for law school, he had a mock trial. Right?
He had
I
a
went
mock
to that mock trial.
Yeah. Oh, you went to the mock trial? And
Right? I did go, yes.
Yeah, was he
And
good?
guess what?
He won?
He did so great. He did so great. The other boys that were there that were doing the mock trial, they were looking at their sheets, what to say, what to do.
So he intimidated them.
And my grandson Billy didn't look once at anything.
Is that right? He had the gift of gab?
He had the gift best.
Oh, man, look at that. Did he win the competition, Ellie? Did he win?
Yeah, he won the. What's that?
You win your case?
I actually did get awarded the Barrister Award.
Look at you.
Which they give to the best performance.
The moot court
The
champion.
Barrister Award. You think? That's an unbiased opinion right there from Grandma Ellie.
Ellie, you take care of yourself, all right?
Okay, and you guys do the same.
All right, there she is, ladies and
Love
gentlemen.
you, Elle.
Grandma Ellie bragging on grandson Billy at the mock trial of the century. Well, do you remember the case?
I forget what it was, but I did get the Barrister Award from Temple Law.
And you're like Matt Damon in, what's that movie?
The Rainmaker?
Rounders.
Oh, Rounders.
Yeah. 610-632-0975. We're back on General Knowledge in the 1 o'clock hour as we come down the home stretch. We are tied, I believe, right?
3-3.
3-3. Back after this.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Passing the test. I'm Ray Dunn. This update is brought to you by Indeed.com. Make the hiring process work for you with Indeed's end-to-end hiring solution. You can attract, interview, and hire candidates all from one place. Start Indeed.com/credit. The Eagles threw their way to victory on Sunday, beating the Steelers in the strength of Jalen Hurts' arm. Especially early in the game, Hurts did a tremendous job getting the ball out quick. And on Tuesday, offensive coordinator Kellen Moore talked about his quarterback's performance.
Jalen did an excellent job of working through his progressions, getting the ball out of his hands. Protection was excellent. I thought our guys did a really good job early in that game, finding that rhythm and playing at a high level.
Looking to keep that rhythm going in Landover, Maryland on Sunday as the Eagles play the Washington Commanders. If the Eagles could win their 11th straight game on Sunday, they'll lock up the NFC East, which would be their 11th division title since 2000. Today, the Eagles also opened up the practice window for Bryce Huff. Nick Sirianni met with the media, and they still are going to talk through when he may be available again. Elsewhere, Flyers go on the road tonight against the Detroit Red Wings at 7 o'clock. You can listen to the game right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. And tonight, the NBA is off following last night's NBA Cup Finals. Doc Rivers and the Milwaukee Bucks win the second ever NBA in-season tournament. I'm Ray Dunn, the home of the 76ers and the Flyers. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Mike Missanelli Show has been holding court.
We all know the Eagles are good. I mean, I could recite stats until the cows go home about how good they are, how good their defense is, how good during a 10-game streak Jalen Hurts has been. They're the best team in the NFC. They're the team that I believe if they don't get to the Super Bowl, it would register in this town as one of the most colossal disappointments ever. They have set that kind of an expectation. And I know people don't want to hear it, but you have to embrace that. In this city, we know when teams are good, we know when teams are bad. So here's my philosophical question about the Eagles. When the Eagles are good, you feel better about it, but you talk less about it. When the Eagles have a snag or when they lose or when there's something wrong, we talk more about the Eagles than we do when they're good. Do you have these really long conversations with people when they're really good? Bill?
Mike and Bill have been pleading their cases.
When the team is so good and there's nothing to analyze and there's nothing to critique, people don't engage in long conversation about the team as much as they do when there's things to critique. And I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is in the human psyche, but I don't think this just applies to sports. I think it's everything. I mean, we tend to, as humans, focus more on negative, controversial things that we can analyze, critique, and discuss. And when the team is doing what this Eagles team is doing, you're right, there's less conversation. Although there should be a ton of conversation. They're 12-2, Super Bowl favorites.
The Mike Missanelli Show holding court is brought to you by Grunko Law, your law firm when you need help because of an injury. We treat every case like it's Dallas week. Pray for peace, prepare for trial. Now back to Mike Missanelli on 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
1 o'clock hour of the Mike Missanelli Show. As always, it is brought to us by... Hold on a second. I got my computer all messed up here. Oh, it's brought to us by Ferguson HVAC Line Conklin, of course. Attention HVAC contractors for equipment, parts, supplies for every heating and cooling job is one of Ferguson's counter locations. They're in Salem, King of Prussia, Pensacola, and Westchester. Today's general knowledge prize, and we always like to come down to the last hour to decide this, is a Flyers Santa sack. So this holiday season, you can give the game day experience with a Flyers Santa sack because each package includes a pair of Flyers tickets, an autographed item, food and beverage voucher, and Philadelphia Wings lacrosse tickets thrown in there. It's everything you need for the game in one gift. It's available at PhiladelphiaFlyers.com. However, if you get a general knowledge question correctly today, you will qualify at random for the prize at the end of our show, the Flyers Santa sack. That's good. That's a good prize, man.
It's a very good prize, and you just reminded me of something. I told you yesterday that I had to do a Costco trip with the wife last night, and I always dread it.
Yeah?
So I'm walking around Costco, and it always blows your mind some of the things they have for sale there. Mm-hmm. You could buy Flyers tickets at Costco now.
Is that right?
In the checkout line, they sell Flyers tickets, lower level, and you can give them as a gift. They have everything there, but I can't. I hate going there, man. I absolutely. Have you ever been in one of those stores?
I've been in a not the Costco, but the
BJ's probably.
BJ.
Yeah, BJ, Sam's. They're all the same. It's just, but you get carried away.
I went in BJ's to get Halloween candy.
Because you get carried away. You're walking around and you want to buy something. You get 70.
I don't buy in bulk because I have no need to buy in bulk. But I wanted to give out real candy for Halloween one year, so I went to and I bought the big bars at Costco. I mean at what's it called?
BJ's.
BJ's.
Yeah, it's BJ's. All right, so we're dazed and confused here as Eagle fans because I'm getting these kind of questions on Twitter. My Twitter handle is MikeMess25, by the way. Should the Eagles go into the game on Sunday with a vanilla game plan due to the fact they may play Washington the third time in the playoffs?
We could probably do a whole show on that.
This is the thing that is contrary to what the Eagles are right now. The Eagles are a good team. Do you think that they should have to worry about playing the Washington Commanders in the playoffs? And then another tweet I get is we by all we should avoid Tampa Bay in the playoffs at all costs. You don't think that this team is better than the Commanders and the Tampa Bay Bucks at this point? We have to work on not showing our hand to the Commanders and avoiding Tampa Bay? Stop it, people!
Yeah, and the Commanders, although they're 9-5, and it is not an easy thing to beat a division opponent 3 times in a season. You look at this Commanders team. They haven't beaten anyone that has a winning record right now.
Well, they showed their hand against the Eagles the first time.
Yeah,
They're not at that level.
It shouldn't make you nervous. And I understand, though.
Bay, come on.
I understand the reluctance with the ball.
Stop it. They played Tampa Bay early in the season when they were hurt, and they played them last year in the playoffs when they were a disintegrated team.
And they got beat by them.
You should win that game. Correct.
Yeah, you should. But they've been kind of the kryptonite, right?
Stop.
Todd Bowles.
It's come on. I'm not. If I got to sit here and worry about the Tampa Bay Bucks with this team, the Eagles they're now showing, that's craziness.
You don't have to be worried necessarily.
Why would you even care who they play? They're the best team in the NFC.
I'll steal a phrase from Bill. You're not wrong.
There we go. Ray.
However,
you're not wrong.
There's a piece of that mindset in my head of watching the number of times the Buccaneers have taken their lunch.
Mindset does not win games when you go into the playoffs.
I gotcha. I've just seen the Buccaneers.
He dropped another one. I got you. I'm with you. Tell him.
All right. Come on, man, with this nonsense.
Hold on. And yesterday I said that the Eagles were still the second best odds to win the NFC Championship. That has now flipped. The Eagles now have the best odds to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. So even Vegas has officially taken notice. All the power rankings have taken notice. This is the best team, if not in the NFL, certainly in the NFC. We shouldn't be afraid of anybody.
No, I'm offended by it. Ish, Levittown. Hello, Ish. Hey, Ish. Again, this son, he's not ready. That's not so bad. Again, 100.
Hello.
For the 100th time, this guy's not
What?
ready.
Is he trolling us with this?
Wait,
is he trolling us with that?
Is this a joke call?
Because he did it yesterday. You told him to not do it.
Is, I swear to God.
What don't you understand?
Good one, Ray.
Every single time this gets in outer space. Thomas in Maryland, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Thomas.
Hey, Mike.
What's
I'm
up,
the one who
Thomas?
actually sent you that question on Twitter, too.
Oh, beautiful. Wait a minute. Now explain this to me, man. How are you afraid that the Washington Commanders, you're going to reveal your hand against them? Come on, Thomas.
I mean, if you look at it, we kind of struggled in the first half against them. We didn't play our best game.
Yeah,
I
but
mean, to beat a
Thomas,
team
come-
3 times,
Come on, man.
especially a division.
Come on, when you
opponent,
look
that's
at these
tough,
two
right?
teams, Thomas, you're a man that knows football. Look at these two teams. You mean to tell me you think the Commanders are on a par with the Eagles right now?
Any given Sunday, Mike. I'm not saying that they are, but weird things can happen.
It's a Negadelphia attitude, Thomas. It's a Negadelphia attitude. Come on.
I mean, anything
killing
can
me.
happen. Yeah. So who do you think that is the biggest threat for the Eagles then? Or is easily going to go to
The biggest threat is still, in my view, the Detroit Lions. However, the Lions are now depleted because they're all banged up. So, no, I don't see anybody that they should lose to in the NFC title game. Not one team out there can challenge what the Eagles are right now.
What about Green Bay?
Nope. I know my cohorts are a little worried about Green Bay, but come on.
I mean, they're not going to be a walkover. I think I think it has to go through the link. If it goes anywhere else, it could be tough.
Well, Thomas, and let me ask you for a second. So let's go with the assumption that you had where it's hard to beat a team 3 times and you want to hold back some of the playbook. Well, now you're saying that coming through the link is important. So then shouldn't the Eagles try to win this game on Sunday? You're not going to hold back some of the playbook because if you lose the game because you're holding back, you can't be the 1 seed.
Yeah, I mean, you got to hold back and just, keep it vanilla but still win. I mean, Mike just said the Eagles are so dominant, right? So we can stick to what we did the last time.
Well, maybe vanilla doesn't win. Maybe just playing your game wins. But I want to go back to what you said. So you're telling me that an NFC title game, the way the Eagles are right now, the way the other teams are in this conference, you're saying that at Detroit, at Minnesota, is going to be a hardship for them? Like they have to play them here to win the NFC?
Mike, you know how many NFC championship losses we have gone through?
Thomas, this 1 year does not translate to the next. You got to look at how complete the team is. Is this the most complete team you've seen in a really long time?
Absolutely. But I've had my heart broken too many times, Mike.
Thomas, come on. Now I'm trying to cure you of that. All right. You want general knowledge question, Thomas?
Yeah, sure.
All right, here we go. Thomas, what restaurant chain from the South known for late night breakfasts, maybe early morning breakfasts as a greasy spoon type of restaurant, is known for almost never closing, even during natural disasters.
Waffle House?
Correct.
Ooh.
Hold on a second. It is Waffle House. Thomas with a big W.
So Grandma Ellie just called. Her husband, who called earlier. Grandma Ellie's husband, my grandpa Gino, God rest his soul, loved Waffle Houses. When we would go south, we would always go to the Waffle House, man. I was a big fan of the Waffle House. I haven't been there in a while. What's the closest one to here? Probably Lancaster, maybe?
I don't know. I should know this because it was Jeff Collins' specialty. That was the biggest thing he missed while he was Temple coach.
Down south.
Yeah.
There's not a lot in PA.
Yeah. The Waffle House is the dining choice almost every person who plays lower level minor league baseball.
Really?
Yep.
Late night bite.
It is a good spot.
That's where they go. 610-632-0975. On the other side, Ray has his question coming up to tie the audience back after this.
Kincade and Salciunas. Listen weekday mornings 6 to 10.
And I'm getting a lot of texts, too, and tweets about Mitch from Phoenix. Now, I may have been too hard on the guy, but he just annoyed me today. So what are the texts saying, Ray?
Oh, yeah. The texts are going to really stand up for Mitch here. Hey, Mitch needs to go. All he does is antagonize the show. Good riddance. Matt from Jersey. Let's keep on rolling here. John from Langhorne. May Mitch always dine with unruly kids nearby. Please limit that call frequency. One more. Father Sean. Mike, this isn't a joke. I believe he said he was a lawyer on a previous show. So Father Sean trying to help you out with the...
Mitch was a lawyer?
Yeah.
Oh,
you know what?
God,
I think he did.
He must have been such an annoying lawyer.
I don't know. Was that tongue-in-cheek knowing that Mike and I were lawyers? Was Mitch really an attorney?
I don't think.
Whatever it is.
He doesn't have attorney. I think he was a business guy.
One more for you.
Business guy.
Spaz PA. Mitch needs a permanent suspension. Done with him. I've been done with him. And that doesn't even include the text I've got personally about Mitch.
All right. Well, our last caller talked about, it's hard to beat a team 3 times. In fact, it isn't. We just got some information here. In fact, teams that meet an opponent in the playoffs after sweeping their 2 regular season matchups are more likely to win the 3rd game than lose it. Since the merger, there have been 24 occasions of teams meeting for the 3rd time in the postseason after one team won the first 2 matchups. In those 24 playoff games, the sweeping team is 15-9.
So maybe this is my Negadelphia attitude. I look at that and say, wow, so 9 times they lost? I know that
it's a 625 winning percentage.
I know the point of the tweet from Nick Santangelo.
Yeah, Nick Santangelo. Thanks for Nick for sending that in.
He's saying, no, it's not hard to beat him 3 times. But I look and think, well, 9 times in the last 24 years, you beat a team twice in the regular season, you lost in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Am I being too Negadelphia with that?
Yeah. 15. All right.
It should be 24-0.
Let's see if Spaceman is ready. Ish in Levittown. Ish.
Sorry, Mike. I was working on the dock.
Ish, this happens every single time we have you on.
I'm sorry, Mike. They had a meeting. Luca Brasi was there.
Oh, they had a meeting conveniently when you're on hold? All right, go ahead. What's going on?
No, I disagree with your original statement. I don't think it's the fans. I think it's more the media. Who wants to be excitement about negativity? I think that's the media that really brings it. I don't think it's the fans.
Ish, let me. I gotta ask you the same question I asked Mitch. What do you think we do here?
Well, no, listen. First, I respect what you guys do. You guys have to talk about.
What my point is, we bring up stuff that is newsworthy. Now, newsworthy is an objective standard. Okay, so if something happens to be negative towards the team, we're not here to ignore that. We're here to embrace the newsworthiness of it.
Oh, well, yeah, you have to talk about it, yeah. But I think, it's 2 different things, the fans and it's the media.
Okay.
Do we care? I don't know. I think some people care, but I had 2 more things, too.
Go ahead.
I had a dream about Ray last night. Have you ever seen Welcome to America? Coming to America, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Okay, do you remember the guys by the, it's like a trash can with fire?
Yeah.
And they were singing around it?
Yeah.
I had a dream that Ray was singing by the fire by the trash can. I don't know if that makes any sense.
I was waiting for the punchline.
Yeah, is there an insult coming?
No. I'm just saying he had a good voice in my dream. That's all.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, you're dreaming about Ray now.
All right, Ish. You do want a general knowledge question?
Oh, yeah.
All right. It's song title antonyms. An antonym is the opposite of what the word is, right? So
anime?
An antonym. All right. So if I say to you, hate mansion, what song title am I looking? Again, it's the opposite of hate and the opposite of mansion put together. So what's the song?
Oh, you got to repeat that. Hate mansion?
Hate mansion.
Hate mansion. Like house?
Oh.
White house?
Come on. It's a little old place where...
Wait. You say White House?
Yeah, that's what he said. We can get together.
Do you know this, Ray?
Love Shack.
Yeah, unfortunately, you're not getting that question.
No,
It's okay. I think I'm also owed one from prior days.
He is. He's owed 2 questions. Right?
Oh, he is. That's
and I think callers are in the lead 4-3. Is that accurate?
You owed the general knowledge question, too. All right. Who's the richest citizen of New York City and also its former mayor?
Michael Bloomberg.
That is correct.
All right, we got a 4-4 tie.
All right, Ray, you can go ahead with this song title, Antonym. You won't die.
You won't die. You won't. I will live.
No. I will survive.
I will survive. Yeah.
He said, I will live. He can't get it. Hit the buzzer.
Yeah, I got it. I got it wrong. I understand.
Uh-oh, we're still tied.
See, you spoke too soon. If you would have thought that through for an extra second, I think you would have got it.
Yeah, I will survive. I don't know if I would have went down survive path.
Lived while I will survive. Gloria Gaynor? Is that Gloria Gaynor?
Oh, I thought it was Tina Turner.
Ain't Tina Turner. It's got to be Gloria Gaynor. Right?
I will
Come
survive.
on, man. Don't test me. Is it Gloria Gaynor?
It is Gloria Gaynor.
Bing! Do I get a point?
Sure.
610-632-0975. Back after this.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Passing the test. I'm Ray Dunn. This update is brought to you by Popeyes. It's football season in Philly, so you got to have some grub. Popeyes is just the John for any fan of the birds. We're talking wings, baby. So fly to Popeyes. Fly and fill up on wings in 7 delicious flavors. The Eagles threw their way to victory on Sunday, beating the Steelers on the strength of Jalen Hurts' arm, especially early in the game. Hurts did a tremendous job getting the ball out quick, and on Tuesday, offensive coordinator Kellen Moore commended his performance.
Jalen did an excellent job of working through his progressions, getting the ball out of his hands. Protection was excellent. I thought our guys did a really good job early in that game, finding that rhythm and playing at a high level.
Hurts and his team will look to continue that rhythm as they head to Landover, Maryland on Sunday to play the Washington Commanders. If the Eagles can win their 11th straight on Sunday, they'll lock up the NFC East, which will be their 11th division title since 2000. Today, the Eagles also opened the practice window for Bryce Huff. We heard from Nick Sirianni as he addressed the media, said not yet with a timeline for Bryce Huff's return. Elsewhere, Flyers go on the road tonight against the Detroit Red Wings at 7 o'clock. You can listen to the game right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. As tonight, the NBA is off following last night's NBA Cup Finals. Doc Rivers and the Milwaukee Bucks won the second ever in-season tournament in the NBA, winning last night over the Oklahoma City Thunder. This update's also brought to you by PayPal. Get exclusive cashback offers in the app, and with the PayPal debit card, stack 5% more in your chosen monthly category and up to $1,000 in purchases. Don't just pay. PayPal. I'm Ray Dunn, the home of the 76ers and the Flyers. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Missanelli Show programming note. On Friday, joining me for 2 hours because Bill will be occupied with a child situation.
Yeah, my daughter's she's got her Christmas play, so I have to leave early.
The little Colorado girl is in the Christmas play.
She is.
What is she?
I'm not 100% sure because it's a Christmas play called Cake, and she's a character named Emma. I have no idea what
You
that
haven't
means.
discussed her role with her?
She's been trying to keep it a secret from me. She won't tell me what song she's
that's
singing
so
or
cute.
anything. Yeah.
Christmas play. So Bill's bugging out at 12 and filling in for Bill for the last 2 hours of the show, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
Hola.
Hola himself. Johnny Sunshine. Johnny Clark will be here for 2 hours.
That's very cool.
We're going to have a big sunshine. We got to get a big globe sunshine in here.
Yes.
And it's always sunny where John is.
With a little airplane next to it because he's Johnny Airport.
Johnny Airplane, Johnny Airport, Johnny Sunshine. Well, he'll be here on Friday. Hola!
There it is. Well, you're flying solo without Ray, too.
Oh, that's right. Ray will be gone as well.
Yeah, so it's just
on Friday.
You, Johnny Clark. Who's producing? I don't even know.
Sean Robin.
Sean's producing. Okay.
All right. So there you go. That's happening on Friday.
Yes.
Okay. Hola! Hey, quick question here. We're going to get to the phones here. Let's settle this general knowledge. Yeah, the Yankees just got Cody Bellinger in a trade. Now, Cody Bellinger, he's a left-handed hitter. I guess that will play in Yankee Stadium. He's going to play center field. Some people in New York don't like that. Some people think he's done, really, as being the premier slugger that he once was. But there's a little interesting dynamic that involves Cody Bellinger and a teammate. Cody Bellinger is married to this beautiful Bahamian Rihanna-looking woman.
Very pretty.
Who used to be the girlfriend of his teammate Giancarlo Stanton.
Awkward.
2.5 years worth.
Yeah, that's pretty awkward.
And a breakup, boom, she meets Cody Bellinger. They get married. Now, what do you think?
It's a little awkward.
Should a front office have considered that?
Maybe they did. I'm assuming they would have talked to. Well, I guess not because it's a trade. I guess they talked to Bellinger, though, right? Make sure it's okay?
I don't know, man. I have no idea.
That is a little awkward in the clubhouse. I don't know. Ray, would you have a problem with that?
I can't imagine it's the most comfortable situation in the world for everyone.
They're professionals. Yeah. I'm sure Giancarlo is not,
Well, it's less awkward for Giancarlo than it is for Cody.
He's not longing for a beautiful woman, but probably most likely, right? He's probably got another one in his life.
It's not awkward for Giancarlo. It's awkward for the guy who then married Giancarlo's ex. Like,
what are you saying? SS? Is that what you're saying?
SS.
Are you the concept of SS? Is that what you're...
I don't know what SS means.
Ray,
That's all right, man.
You get that reference?
Yeah. When he grows up, we'll explain.
Ray got it. You didn't get it?
No, you're going to have to explain it to me at the
It's
break.
related to what you just said.
Yeah, it's okay. It's all right, Bill.
Oh, second. Yep. I got it.
All right.
Yeah, no, it's just awkward. It's just awkward.
It is. All right, let's get back to the phone.
There we go.
There you go,
Took me a
Bill.
while.
Bill.
Took me a while.
Grandma Ellie, though, says brightest bulb.
Let's go to Will in Levittown. Will, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Will.
What's going on, fellas?
What's up,
How are
Will?
you guys
How
today?
you doing?
I'm hanging in, brother. Do you think that maybe we're just bored with regular seasons as a sports? Since we won the Super Bowl, it seems like we can't get emotionally involved in the regular season.
Are you talking about the Eagles? No, I don't think we're bored with
I'm
them.
talking about all sports.
No, all sports, we're bored with the regular season because the players have shown us that they're bored with the regular season. That's the difference. They're bored. They're bored with the regular season because so much emphasis is on the playoffs, and they make so much money. They don't want to damage themselves for the playoffs.
It's a bad product. I'll go back to your point with the NBA. Like, it's almost unwatchable now.
It's lacking right now, the pizzazz, and it's lacking because of the three-point shot, and it's lacking because of the load management and all that stuff, because the organizations are telling their own fan base that the regular season is not that important.
I think the one game last week, there was 73 missed three-pointers. Who wants to watch that?
There couldn't have been 73 missed.
No, I think it was 73. It was a record.
Really?
Yeah,
You get off 73.
missed.
But it's impossible to shoot 73 3-pointers, much less miss them.
Combined.
Oh, combined. Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, 2 teams.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, it just maybe we're as a fan base like apathetic towards it.
I don't think you think the Eagle fan base is apathetic toward the regular season? We're not apathetic. Every game's meaningful. I think that was Bill's point, that in the NFL, every game is meaningful.
It is, but it's hard to get, after you win a Super Bowl, it's hard to get emotionally invested,
No,
I guess, for a
totally
game against the Browns.
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
Wait, you saying for the fan base or for the team?
Saying the fan base.
For the fan base.
I don't think so, man. I think when your team wins the Super Bowl, like go back to 2017 when the Eagles won the Super Bowl. The next season, you weren't invested in every game because you're like, they won it last year.
I personally was, of course.
Yeah, I mean, look, the NFL's not hurting for ratings, so.
No, they're a juggernaut, without a doubt.
All right, Will, you want your general knowledge question? Are we into Mafia questions? Is that where we are?
Probably.
Yeah. All right, the Mafia questions. In the early 2000s, Afghanistan was the world's leading supplier of this illegal product.
Illegal product?
Yep.
Opium?
Correct.
Wow.
Oh, under the wire. He gets it. Opium. The poppy.
Yeah,
I had a poppy seed bagel today.
He had a poppy seed bagel.
I was going to make that joke to you on the way
Bill
in.
doesn't get this. This is a Seinfeld reference he just gave you.
Oh, the poppy seed bagel?
I was going to make the joke to you when he came in. I forgot.
Yeah.
So thank you for that.
All right. You poppy seed man?
It was the bagel they had. So not normally.
Yes,
I'm normally in everything.
He has
bagel.
been a little different today.
It's the
You think he's
poppy.
under the influence of opium?
It's possible. But that would have made him so mean, would it?
Maybe.
He's been pretty
You
mean.
never know. I've never done opium, so I don't know if it gets you mean or not.
But,
it's possible.
I brought in
Maybe that's it.
I brought in the throat coat as an olive branch of peace that I think Ray accepted.
Oh, did he accept it?
Yeah, I think we were friends again after
Okay. All right. Ray, this is your Mafia question. Who was the Medellin-based drug lord who had a net worth estimated at $30 billion?
This is bad. This is very, very bad.
Medellin-based drug lord.
Oh, see, this actually might be one that I would know if I wasn't choking right now.
Yeah.
Because there's a name that's there that I am not thinking of.
Stalling for time.
I'm stalling for time for the name to show up.
He's waiting for YouTube to help you.
No, I'm waiting for the name to pop up my head.
Like you could know this just in general, or you could have watched Narcos.
Right,
You could have
and
watched
that's exactly where
Entourage.
my mind is, but I can't think of the name in the moment. I'm choking here. This is poor work by me.
That's unfortunate.
Remember when Vinny Chase played Pablo Escobar, Ray?
Damn, that's the name. I had Escobar.
Escobar. He used to escape from prison cells by his crew digging tunnels through the countryside. The HR Godfather's checking in from Sewell, New Jersey. What's up, HR?
Hey, ciao, Michele.
How you
My
doing, man?
confidence in the Eagles in the playoffs is about as high as it is that I know I'm going to get a good cannoli if I go to one of the great Italian bakeries in South Philly. But I know that in the playoffs, field goals are critical. I've loved Jake Elliott, and I know he made 2 this last game, but I am still concerned about what he can do from longer distance, which I think we're going to need in the playoffs. And I still have reservations about can Jalen stop waiting so long to throw. But so help me to get over those concerns, would you?
They're the best team in the NFC. It's the only thing I could tell you, HR. I don't know what more to say. You know, like we played this little tune with he can't throw, and if somebody stacks up the running game, but he makes completions and he makes plays. So I'm not even worried about that. They'll figure out a way. If you're the best team in the NFC, the other team has to beat you. Like, you're not going to beat yourself. You do what you do. They have tailored a scheme on offense that works. Their defense is the best defense in the league. I don't know what more I can say. I'm not concerned about anything.
No concerns about Jake Elliott. And
No, I have no concerns about Jake Elliott because for me to be concerned about Jake Elliott is be concerned for every other kicker. You never know what day it is, whether a kicker's going to be successful or not. So I can't worry about it. Really. Kickers are goofy. I mean, how can I say I'm not worried? I'm sure every team is worried about their kicker.
They are a little goofy and flaky, aren't they?
They're totally goofy. Now, last week he got back into a groove, so, the rest of the season, we'll see. I guarantee he'll be in a groove, so that, if you have that concern, that'll go away, too.
All right. I think you got me over the hump there.
All right, buddy. You ready for your general knowledge question?
Sure, especially if it's about the mafia, because the answer will be one of my uncles.
It's not. It's not about the mafia. It's a general knowledge question. So I will give you this one. What does the CB in CB radio stand for? Uh-oh.
My Uncle Sonny.
That's incorrect. Not your Uncle Sonny. Wow. I might have to give Ray this one.
Yeah, I don't know if I would know it.
Ray, what does the CB in CB radio stand for?
You're going to have me drafting apologies to professors at Temple. Yeah, I'm not even going to give
Whoa!
Citizens Band.
That's correct.
I stole it from YouTube.
Okay.
I wouldn't have known it.
Citizens Band is the correct answer. Where do we stand? Are we tied still?
No, it's 5-4 callers.
Ray, you need one. All right, let's go to John in Mantua, who could
was the steal my question?
The steal was your question.
Okay.
What, do you want another question?
No.
I said this is to see if Ray can get this one.
Yeah. Ray, I think that was it. You should have got it.
I tried to give you the CB.
Huh? Okay.
Some people are saying compact disc and cassette disc. Those are not
That would
good
be
answers.
CD.
Yeah, that's not a good answer.
Yeah. All right, John in Mantua. You're on 97.5 The Fanatic. John.
Joe from Mantua.
Joe. All right, it says John there. Are you sure you're not John?
That's my brother. No.
All right, go ahead, Joe.
No, I called a couple weeks ago after the Baltimore game. I told you it's the best Eagle team I've seen in my lifetime. They're going to run the table, and nothing changed my mind. I think the next 3 games, they could tell the opposition what play they're going to run. They still win each game by 2 touchdowns.
Look at you, man.
That's
a positive view, man.
They are that good. They are that good.
I happen to agree with you. Listen, I don't know if they're a super team, right? But I look at the NFC. They're the best team in the NFC. Now, can they beat the Bills?
Down.
We'll see if they can beat the Bills or the Chiefs or whatever.
The Bills are good, but their defense stinks too. I mean, they got wiped out.
Yeah, I'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Right now, I'm just dealing with the NFC. There's nobody to me that's going to challenge the Eagles. They would have to have a terrible game and fall completely on their face because they're better than any team in this conference on every level.
And that's not going to happen. I can only imagine the sports talk shows in Detroit, Green Bay, Minnesota talking about how they can avoid the Eagles. You know what I mean? We're not afraid of anybody. They got to be scared to death of playoffs. It just, like I said, it's the best team I've seen in my lifetime. They're not going to lose another game until preseason next year.
All right. Are you ready for a general knowledge question?
Yeah, I'll take a shot.
All right. This is the song title antonym, so it's the opposite of what. This may be an unfair question, but here's the antonym. Dying la muerte cuerdo.
Say what?
Dying la muerte cuerdo.
No idea.
Is it? Can I take a guess?
Don't you dare!
Oh, you want to steal?
No,
he wants to steal.
Yeah, you want to steal that?
All right, go ahead, Ray. Steal.
Living la vida loca.
That's correct. Living la vida loca.
I knew Ray was a Ricky Martin fan. I had that CD,
All right,
Ray.
Ray. I'm going to tell you that. I'm going to give you one more. If you get this, you win. All right? I'm not going to even go back to the phones and give somebody. But if you win, you tie, and that person will still get the prize.
Mm-hmm.
This is staying in the song antonyms.
Oh.
The fake fat Sonny.
The fake fat Sonny. What he said.
Yes. What's the song? Did they have it on the chat, Bill? The fake fat Sonny.
No one said it yet on the chat, but I'm trying to work this through with Ray here. So I would think real, skinny, Cloudy. Will the real Slim Shady please stand up?
That's good.
Yes.
That's good.
Right? Is that it?
That's correct. The real
That was hard,
the
man.
real Slim Shady is the correct answer. So now, Ray, sorry you didn't get it. So we have a prize winner from the audience today. The Flyers Santa sack goes to, let's see, Dean Golden from Philadelphia. Congratulations to Dean Golden. He wins a Flyers Santa sack, which is a pair of Flyers tickets, an autographed item, food and beverage voucher, and thrown in a pair of Philadelphia Wings lacrosse tickets. And you can buy this package at PhiladelphiaFlyers.com. So Dean's going to have to pick that up here.
Yeah, and then re-gift it. That's a great Christmas present for somebody. We won't tell if you
really
don't
is.
that you re-gifted it.
All right, time for closing arguments.
Now, closing arguments on the Mike Missanelli Show. Brought to you by Lowenthal and Abrams Injury Attorneys. Injured in an accident, call 800-876-LAWYER or visit LowenthalAbrams.com.
Well, my closing argument is, and I see what's in front of me. I see the reality of Philadelphia fans, and we talked about it a little earlier. The Eagles are good. You feel better about it, but you're less inclined to talk about it. And I'm going to tell you something. I'm not mad at that. You know, even though we don't have any burning topics from day to day to talk about the Eagles right now because they're so good, I'd rather take that. I'd rather be in that utopia, that euphoria that kind of thing creates, where we're not picking apart the bad decision that the head coach made or the dumbhead penalty that a guy took by slapping a guy on the side of the helmet. We're talking about a team that's the best team in the NFC, which I can't see losing to anybody. And if they lose, it would be a tremendous, tremendous disappointment. They're the best. Philadelphia people recognize when they're a good team. That's what people are doing now. We are kind of drunk with the fact that the Eagles are a very good team. Billy?
We're up against it, Mike, so I'm right there with you, man. I'll take the lack of conversation for consecutive wins and a Super Bowl favorite.
There you go. That does it for today, everybody. Thanks for playing along with General Knowledge. We had a lot of fun today. And again, programming for Friday. John Clark will join me. Bill will be back tomorrow with Ray. We will talk to you then. Have a great night, everybody.
Sunday, they'll lock up the NFC East, which would be their 11th division title since 2000. Today.